I'll have the dentist clean my teeth. I'm fine with that. But when he tells me to use the fluoride toothpaste and gives me a new toothbrush, I'm going to put his toothbrush on the side in case I need it later. And the fluoride toothpaste is either going to another person, or I might use the toothpaste as like some form of an adhesive glue, because toothpaste is really good when you mix it with certain chemicals. You can use it as glue.
What?
And so I guess what I'm telling you is anything that they're telling you to put in your body or put in your mouth that can be utilized as glue. I mean, when we were kids, kids would be like eating glue in class, and as far as I know, you're really not supposed to eat glue. So that's where I stand with that.
As far as I know. Let me do more research before I get back on that. I don't think you're supposed to eat glue.
I am gonna tell you my truth. I love eating raw meat. That is my thing. That's what I like to do.
We know.
I am telling you, don't do it, because it's probably not healthy for you. Unless if you are an American native, if you are a native of any country, and your biology is, and your lineage, like if your family history says that you're coming from the sticks, you're coming from the middle of nowhere, you come from some sort of ancient or native culture,
it's raised
your
in
body
the woods,
may be capable of doing it. Don't find out the hard way. Please don't find out the hard way. Do your research, find out more about your body. Go to the doctor, let them give you different tests to tell you more about yourself. Take a DNA test, find out more about yourself. I did all that.
But fuck the dentist, right, James?
That my body is healthy
and
capable
that salesman
of consuming raw meat. But I do not recommend, unless you do proper research, consuming raw meat. Do not. That's how I see it. To flip to a psychology thing really quick, and we're going to go right back to regular, as I will tell you, do not ever be embarrassed, afraid, or ashamed of being some type of a hypocrite, because the reality is you're always going to have to ebb and flow with society, and if you get stuck on principle, you could end up in a rough place. If you don't have enough principle, you can end up in a rough place. Create a balance for yourself. Like, I'm telling you all this organic, I'm talking about all this organic stuff, and then I'm sitting here smoking a vape.
Carrie.
Right? Nothing but chemicals. Nothing but synthetic, inorganic chemicals. So don't be afraid to just be honest with yourself and live the way you have to live. And if you can afford to live a lifestyle of principle to that level of discipline, then more power to you. And if you're like me, where I'm still building up my life, and you're not fully capable of following your principles to that degree, then be forgiving of yourself and give yourself time to get in place. Just don't forget in the ways that you're trying to make your life better and more like what you are comfortable with. Don't, make sure that you do take time for yourself to figure out how to do that. Where did I learn all this? I'd say it's been about a decade or more it's been more than a decade of constant research. Now I've learned to go from having to look online to paying attention to what goes on in real life.
Research from the woods in jail. I'm sure there's a lot of trusted sources out there.
The better you get at learning.
The wolves,
the more you learn about learning, the better you get at learning about learning.
The imaginary wolves. He wasn't even raised in the woods.
And the more you learn, the faster you're going to continue to be able to use your skills of learning about learning and learning to get better at learning. And so oftentimes getting better at learning means you become faster at learning. And then it's a snowball effect. It's a psychological snowball effect. I almost said snowball. A psychological snowball effect.
I wish I had some accounts still to ask James questions. How'd you learn how to live stream from the woods?
You're gonna learn about yourself.
Find a piece of glass and just look into it. Talk to himself in the fucking mirror. I'm tired.
Good morning. I had a good night. I had a pretty good night. I got a good amount of sleep. I got up around 3:30, like I always do, and very productive day so far. Like I have done more by 8 a.m. on the West Coast than most people will do in their entire day.
Yeah, right.
And technically, the day hasn't even started yet.
What did Jessica do?
So if you take now, this is a principle. This is something I learned from Elon Musk because I used to study his work and when he would have motivational speeches and things of that nature. So the average person works 20 to 40 hours a week. Okay. If you work 80 hours a week, you're getting twice as much done. If you work 120 hours a week, you're getting 3 times as much done.
I guess it depends on your job.
120 hours a week is a lot. That's the pace that I live at. Is I am productive at least 120 hours a week. Externally productive, right? And then the rest of that time is internal for sleep, for getting sleep. So let's say you're productive 120 hours a week.
Bench.
Well, there's 365 days a year.
Right now.
365 times 2 is
Olympics
11.
Today? Are we still planning for the Olympics?
15 or 25. Is it 11:15 or 11:25? 11:25. I believe it's 11:25 if I'm not mistaken. So let's say that you work 3 times the amount of an average person throughout the entire year, and then on top of that, you have learned how to work faster and more efficiently. Let's just double it than most people. So on average, you're getting done if you're that good. And admittedly, if you're as good as I am, you're getting done at least 8 times as much as the average person in a year.
Katrina will never get
just count
kicked.
Day to day by technicality
Katrina
and just
can
by proxy, you
can
are
ask the
accomplishing
hard-hitting
8
questions.
times as much in one day as the average person. Now, with that comes the caveat of being overqualified. So if you're in a position like me where you're seeking an appropriate position, but you're so skilled, not necessarily good at that skill yet, but you're so skilled as a person that when you step into that environment, it's multiplying the environment, but also it usually, when you're that proficient, it usually causes some form of disruption, whatever environment you step into, because as a conglomerate, most environments, have the tasks delegated to a team and a whole lot of people, right? So if you're a self-starter and you're someone like me who does pretty much everything yourself with proper supports, then you step into an environment where the tasks are delegated and you have to adapt and adjust to being on a team. And that's something I've had to do and I've gotten pretty good at. I'm pretty good at working on a team now. I've just had to learn how to do it. But I would say that's a 1% skill that you definitely need
it's
to
so
learn.
productive, Phil. What are you talking about?
But if you're somebody like me that's self-starter, you definitely, I know you might be proud of your situation in your life, but we live in a society that is very much communally based and very intertwined, where people are intertwined with one another. So it's very important to learn how to work together with people. And sometimes that means throttling your own productivity. If you want that job, sometimes that means that you're going to just dial it back and allow yourself to work that job. And for anyone that, like I said, if you're a self-starter, sometimes the struggle we have is resting. And sometimes the struggle we have is taking time to ourselves or taking the time to rest and recuperate, or at least recharge, right? Well, something I learned how to do, I'd say a very, very important skill if you're a self-starter, is learning how to move on autopilot, right? So, for example, if you are someone who is, let's say, 4 times as productive as the average person, and you go to a 40-hour-a-week job, well, dial it back and work just as hard as everybody else. Don't put in all that extra effort unless you're trying to get a promotion, then maybe go 2 times as hard. And then allow yourself to mentally rest
James has never been promoted anywhere.
Your work shift, right? And if that's too much for you, that it's making you lazy, then get a part-time job. If you need more money, you're going to have to figure that out on your own. If you're really that productive, you're going to figure it out. But if you're the type of person that
someone
you
say
can
that
do pretty
to
much everything
James.
yourself, get yourself a part-time
James, you don't
job
need my
and
money.
use that time
Figure
to
it
mentally
out.
rest
You're a
and
big
just
boy.
do the job they tell you to do. there's no reason you have to do 2 and 3 jobs at once. You don't have to. So take that time to rest and recuperate and realize that you're getting paid for your time either way. So you go to work, you put the work in, and you're going to make money, and like based on your personal standard, you're going to think like you're going to feel like you're cheating because you're making money while you're not even technically in your own mind doing all that much at all. So that's what I would say to do, is just, like, realize how clever it actually is just to get a regular job. If you're someone that's hyper productive, get a regular job and let yourself get some rest while you're at work. Do the job while you're at work. You're going to look like you're working harder than everybody that's around you, and you're still going to make that money, and you're going to get to relax. And it'll be unbeknownst to your boss. Your boss is going to be like, man, look at your performance. It's out of this world. And you'll be like, thank you. And then you go home and you're like, like you still have like a whole bunch of energy left. So
talking about toothpaste,
that's how I do it.
Being used for glue,
that is how I do it.
Not for brushing your teeth.
And the bosses usually don't want you to work overly hard. And if you do go to work and you put in too much effort, well, guess what's going to happen? Your boss is going to take advantage of you. They're going to talk crap to the higher management so you can't get a promotion or take their job. And they're going to keep you under them and use you for their performance. And when you first go to a job, maybe that's appropriate for like a year or two while you're still getting tenure. But realistically, you don't want someone tarnishing your name like that. So your best bet is to go in at anywhere from full capacity of the average employee to time and a half, Just make sure you get paid. Because if you're not getting paid, it's not a job. Unless it's like an internship or something. That internships are obviously different.
Fucking James, get a job first before you give advice on getting jobs. How long would I survive? Keep them and shit.
I would more than likely be running a small country. If there was a zombie apocalypse and people needed to stay alive, the likelihood that I'd be running a small country is very high. I'd probably migrate to a third world country where people already know how to survive in an environment similar to what would be offered in a zombie apocalypse, what you'd have to deal with, and I would assert a leadership role. That's what I would do. Hello, how are you?
He's fucking combing through who's watching. I don't want to make another account. I really don't. I really don't feel like it today. How long has he been on today? Not that long.
What would you do? If we had a zombie apocalypse, what would you do?
I always get him right when he comes on. But in the morning, I'm lazy. So it isn't until someone's like, Steve, you should go live, that I will go live. So I think there was like 20 minutes that we could watch like we did yesterday. You know how like when he gets off live, I'll just airdrop it.
Shamelessly, I'm going to ask the audience, I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Because I've done my research and I can't figure out what it is. And it's not really that much of a secret. People have just been kind enough not to really talk about it. But even after getting cleaned up, I'm showered every day. I live indoors. I got appropriate income, all that good stuff. But I don't seem to be able to figure out how to solve this physiological thing I got going on. And I don't think my stress levels are this high, but it's possible that my stress levels really are this high and I just don't realize it. So, like when I did the research, the research said that it could be caused by just an extraneous amount of stress. I have this. All right, I'm going off camera for this, okay? I have this odor going on on my backside, right? It smells like fish.
What?
And I don't know what is going on. I don't have any idea what it is.
That's just pussy,
I have a doctor's
James. I don't know.
At the end of the month to go figure out what's going on. Or at least try to get an appointment with a specialist. But if you guys could do, if you're willing to look into this, if you're someone who's been dedicated to my broadcast and you're a little more personal with me and it doesn't gross you out, if you'd be willing to look up what could possibly cause having a fishy smell from your backside, I would appreciate you telling me what you could find, because it's definitely coming from inside the body.
Oh
It's not on
god.
the outside. And I've obviously done the proper cleaning
Yeah, his
to
ass smells like
ensure
fish.
that. So
Lord,
I'm a guy, and I have, male parts. So
I don't know. I don't get...
if you could do
How
me a
does he
favor,
know?
look that up and let me know what you find.
He's
And
got
obviously, I am so
somebody
desperate on it that
up
I'm asking
there.
the audience, which is ridiculous. But I mean, literally, I can't find anybody to tell me what's going on. And I can't figure it out myself, which doesn't happen a lot, but we're there.
That can be
So
an
let me know
actual
if you
new
find
nickname.
anything.
It's like fish ass.
And do me a favor, send it to
Not
me privately.
Ghost or death.
Don't
or
put it publicly. Thank you.
the other names he comes up with. Spider-Man, Batman, G.I. Joe 5000. You know, all those fake nicknames. Fish ass.
Yeah, so I'm just sitting here waiting to see what's
Remember
done with this
Kanye West
scooter,
was a gay fish.
because people know that I come to sit here and start my broadcast, and then somebody just kind of left a scooter here, and it's a big problem. Big problem. But what I will tell you is my leg's starting to fall asleep, so I'm getting up. And I'm not playing this game. So, sorry.
Do I need
If
to
you're
look
supposed
up
to be
swamp
somewhere or
ass?
something, I would get to where you're supposed to be.
I want to
Let's
learn
keep
about
trying to
this.
steal
so
from me. I'm not going to
more.
mention the particulars of that. But, yeah, I didn't offer for you to just take my stuff. So thanks for not taking it. I guess that's my way of telling you that I've taken it back.
Okay, excessive
And,
sweating in the buttocks area.
now have
That's
a
what
problem.
it says. What about does swamp ass
Because
smell like fish?
You go ahead. My leg's asleep. Yeah, my leg's asleep here standing because someone's being a... I thought, oh, let me be a little nice and I'll sit here and wait. And then, instead of appreciating the extra time I tried to buy somebody to walk down the way, they're like, I'm not gonna lie to you, people disgust me sometimes. They really do. Like, I mean, they're literally just,
What?
they make me so mad. They really do.
They smell like fish or
They have no
vinegar after
remorse either.
consuming
It's
dairy.
like nowadays
They have a
people are just straight
metabolic
sociopaths.
disorder.
And like, I don't even know how to deal with them. Like, I don't, like, how do you tell the difference? That's the thing about sociopaths, is you don't know when they're sociopaths.
Teeth got cracks.
Because they're
Johnny
not good
Depp
at
has
hiding.
dentures, so he can get some.
And it makes me so mad because, like, I'll do something for somebody, or I'll try to help somebody out, and I find out they don't have feelings. Their brain doesn't work right. They got a mental problem.
Yeah.
And then I'm standing out here, and I look like I'm sticking my leg out for somebody, and it's my leg's asleep. Like, oh man.
You should, Conger. All my accounts are
And then
gone.
they're like, oh, we'll take more. I'm like, don't worry, you take as much as you want. Just remember, the bill's going to show up in the mail. And they're like, hey, that's not how it works. I'm like, yes, this is America. That is exactly how it works. Some people are just so deceptive that they'll tell you they're giving you something for free. And then it's, then you find out it's not free later. Well, me personally, I'm going to tell you to your face that I'm more than happy to help you. Just remember, certain types of help I charge for, because certain types of help I was given, and certain types of help I'm offering myself from my own stock that I've worked for, such as cover. If there's someone who's trying to get somewhere, and I do this a lot for celebrities, when they're like other celebrities, when there's people, when you don't, how do I put this? If you're trying to get from point A to point B, and you can't afford a security team, or you can't afford, or you're not willing to wear a bulletproof vest, and you're a celebrity, and you're trying to go out in public, or you're trying to go from A to B when you want to, I'm the guy that you call or text or send a signal through one of your social networks, physically or online, to cover for you and pretend to be you for 5 minutes. And I do that for people. And I'm this is my first time telling you guys online. I don't have any issues with it. It's not a crime. I don't get what do you call it? I don't get paid for that. That's something where I consider it to be something I do for free, for not charity, but just as a good deed, because there's people out there that I could relate to who don't always have the ability to maintain their privacy, and I know what that feels like. So, sometimes I use my personal skills that were granted to me by my country, that I was taught, that that I don't see those skills as marketable skills. I see them as something that are supposed to be used for free. because I was taught those skills by my country for free. It didn't cost me money; it cost my country money, and so it's only fair that
Daisy's
do that
gross.
for free for people.
What happened to Daisy? I am
So where was I
grabbing
going with that?
Daisy's
But
latest
sometimes,
video.
from time to time, I'll
because I
have
was
someone who thinks they're
recommended
thinks they're
to.
like extra special, and I'll use those skills for them, and I'll help cover for them so that they can get from A to B without being noticed because they want to maintain their privacy. And then they'll end up trying to take more from me, or like use my name without my permission, or what have you, or use the likeness of my name without my permission, or
server.
while they are stepping
Be
in
a
my
good
shoes
idea.
and being a little safer, they're like, oh wow, he has this and this and that, and they think they're just going to walk through my proverbial house of resources and like just walk out with a whole bunch of my stuff in their bag. And I'm like, we're not doing that. Put it back, put it back, put it back. And next time you want to show up with an ID, because if we're going to work together again, it's going to be on the books, and I'm going to start charging, because I'm not, you know what I mean?
Heather did a video.
Like I said, with the initial, I'm doing
What
it
is
for
happening
free.
today?
But if
It's
someone
Monday.
starts taking advantage of my actual personal
Fucking
resources, then it
everyone.
becomes a job. I haven't had anybody come back to me, thankfully, who has
Fucking
taken
God.
advantage of me. But, from time to time, I have to put my foot down. I get disappointed because I'm not even kidding. I was literally doing it right there. I was sitting there by that scooter and whatnot, and I was doing a good deed for somebody that I know. I know what celebrity it was. I thought, I'm doing a nice thing, and then he freaking turn around and they're like, oh, I'm gonna take more. I'm like, no, you're not. You're not. I don't like being taken advantage of. I mean, I'm practically already letting people take advantage of me to begin with by using those skills for free. There's plenty of people that have the skills that I do that are getting paid 150 to 250 grand a year, or per job even, sometimes, quarter over quarter, for, certain forms of personal protection. The skill set that I have is worth. Now, this is a market that is majoritatively clandestine. The skills that I have that are marketable are worth at least $250,000 to $500,000 per job. And I do it for free because my country taught me for free. So when people turn around and they take it for their own personal use, I get upset. Now, if I give somebody something for free, that's different. And I give people stuff all the time from my own personal stock that I've earned of resources. But on a professional basis, I don't, I'm not a charity, is what I'm saying. I am not, as a human being, a charity. So if I'm going to use my skills for someone who wants to utilize what I have for their professional life, I have to evaluate how much that person does for the public. If the person that I'm allowing to utilize my personal skills for, personal skills for, if they have more of a professionally vested interest, then I make it a professional conversation. If there's someone that I feel, and it's a personal topic, because those are my resources, and then on top of it, that skill set is something that not a lot of people have. So it's like, if I'm going to let somebody use me in that way for what their business is or what they're doing, I want to make sure that they're a giving person. If they're giving as much as I'm comfortable with them giving for me to let them use me, then I'll stick up for them and I'll do what I got to do with them. But if it's someone who has professional interest and they are more selfish with what they got, and maybe they're not the type of person that I jive with, well, then I'll create like a financial barrier. And most of the time, if there's a financial conversation, they say, oh my gosh, that's too much, I don't want to do it. So then they'll hang out at their home for an extra year and a half instead of going out to have fun. And so, I guess the fun isn't worth the money for them, but I'm also not going to undercharge. Then in the times when, people need that help and it doesn't cost me any money and it's not really making them money, and then they're going to do something good for people, I'll do it for them. And I am so good at it that I could say it in public and still get it done and be successful with it. To this day, there hasn't been a single, not even a security camera has caught me, not a single one, doing what I do when I have to get it done for people that need it done. So, and I could do it. You know, I can't do it while I'm on live stream, obviously. So I've been doing a lot less of it, thankfully. So I'm taking care of me. But you know, now it's out there. You know, if you need that, let me know. But and then also don't cheat me. You know, like I was sitting there, and you know, it's an unspoken agreement. I'm like, I don't mind. But when I'm sitting there, and then I'm getting those signals that someone's they're starting to take from me. Well, guess what's happening? I'm cutting out halfway through the job. You don't get to say, "Oh, you made the commitment, and now you got to stick to it, or I'm going to tarnish your name."
To this last
Everybody already
job.
knows that you're someone who steals, and so I covered you for 2 seconds, thinking that you were going to do the right thing, and against my better judgment, you chose to try stealing from me. You didn't get away from it. You didn't get away with it either, and now I can move on, and I don't have to cover for you. And if you want me to cover for you again, you try to commit a crime while I'm covering for you, you're going to prison. I'm just letting you know. Like, I don't play with that, and people don't play with that with me, because my name is worth something, and I'm not playing with that. And then on top of that, if you're gonna swap it and then try to use me for your professional reasons, when we agreed upon you going to utilize my cover for the sake of charity or for the sake of giving or for the sake of our country, if you swap that or try to take extra, then you're the one that has to answer to the government, not me. So, you know, I have that agreement, I have those connections, and I don't play with it. I take you seriously, I respect your time and your energy, and my demand on a personal and professional level is that I receive the same respect that I give you. And if you feel that I'm disrespecting you because we have different cultures and I refuse to shift into your culture to give you what you want,
right.
that's just called
10 a.m. on a Monday.
No, you're cool. And I really don't support
So James
extremism.
could be taxing.
And I don't.
If I had to listen to him like
to
nonstop, if I had to listen to him, if I lived with him or something,
but if you're
I would be like,
who,
we got to take
no
this guy out, or like shoot him
life,
up with a bunch of
like,
drugs or something.
If you
like,
are
I can't. I
who's
just can't.
involved in, say, street culture, or you're someone who's involved
He
in
just
nefarious
doesn't
practices,
stop.
that's not for me to judge. That's
Get him
not
a
my
muzzle.
place. What you do in America is my business if you want to deal with me. You know, what you do in other countries until
What did
those
Daisy
countries
do? Why are you guys
recognize
mad
me
at
on the same
Daisy
level
today?
that my country recognizes me
I haven't looked at her yet.
is none of my business.
What did she
But
do?
as long as you are respecting my country and my home,
Fill me in
our
on the
home,
deets.
then I'm willing to work with you on projects that do not involve any practices that I don't involve myself on a personal or professional basis. And I have very staunch and forthright standards about who I work with in those ways. And anything that I am supposed to or that I have to report to my government, I do.
I'm grabbing the
Anything that I'm
7
supposed to
cheater
report to
thing. I don't know.
the
I skimmed the title.
I
And
do.
then she also uploaded another video to like
And it
the
keeps me out of
channel
trouble.
no one really knows about, so I'm grabbing that one too. I don't know what that one's gonna say. James' eyes brown today. They're supposed to
Here,
be
one
blue.
second, I catch up with these comments.
Sometimes
We
they're
got
brown,
something going on
sometimes
today.
they're blue.
I don't know what it is, but I'm excited.
They swapped him out like they swap out Xavier sometimes. Also, hello, Emily. Smarts.
Very productive. You know what I like about you? Your humor is about as dry as mine. I vibe with you. I can feel that. Now, if I find something out and you ain't around later, don't get mad at me. But you're here now, and I like you because you don't care. You wouldn't even care if I did. Other than being very productive, that's awesome because I can relate to that. Why do I wake up at 3 a.m.? I wake up at 3 a.m. And I start being productive around 3:30 for reasons of having to do with nature. Without saying too much, I would recommend that you research. Research. I mean, you can literally just Google 3:30 a.m. and hopefully the internet isn't censored to a point that you don't learn anything. But there was a time when you could Google, when's best to get up and this and that. When I first learned to get up at 3:30 a.m., I was watching Dwayne Johnson's motivational videos and speeches that he had. And one of the things that he had said in one of his videos is that he wakes up, and I don't know if he does this now, but back then when I was watching those videos, he said he gets up at 3:30 a.m. And I think it's like when the markets open internationally or something like that. But like then I looked further into it, and there's like
the market,
reasons having
the
to do with
stock
nature
market
that explain to you why I get up that early. And I'm not going to go too far into it. It's your own path in your own life. You got to do your own research. But 3:30 is just about the best time to possibly wake up if you're in America, for the day. At least where I'm living. Here on the West Coast, 3:30 a.m. is the pinnacle time to wake up for the day. As long as you have, I would say, at least 6 to 8 months of stationary time on one spot, and if not physically, at least virtually. Right. If you're building your own world, if you're living your own life and you're trying to
signing autographs
so deep that people can't pull them up, there's a lot of practices that you have to implement in your life to be effective with that. And that's stuff that I learned a little under a decade ago. I've just been doing my best to get better at them ever since, and continuing to learn more on top of that.
You break me down. Whoa. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so I guess my recommendation to you, what I will tell you, is that
Dizzle?
when it comes to
What is King Dizzle?
when it comes to let's call it getting ahead of the clock.
I used to be
If you ever
Steve
wanna get
Izzle
ahead of the clock
Delizzle.
and not let
I don't
time
like
be beating you
people
instead
with
of
similar names to me.
if you want to
Dizzle?
beat time instead of having time beating you, there's two ways you can do it.
Kayla.
You could be on all the time,
Kayla, how you doing?
or you could learn how to hide. And if you know how to
James
be private,
is
if you
mad.
know how to be invisible,
Well, I don't think he's mad at me today
and you're
specifically, but he was mad at
responsible,
me.
because trust me, if you choose to live in the dark, if you try to hide,
Yeah.
you have to be very careful with
That
choices you make.
is an angry guy.
Because when it's no
His
word
teeth
of
are
lie,
cracked.
whether it's
His ass smells like
propagandization,
fish.
whether it's typical media, whether it's just hearsay or what people talk about. No matter what source you go to, the truth is
You're in?
the devil,
You're in,
the
Connor?
proverbial devil, comes out in the dark.
Let's see.
So be very careful what choices you make in the metaphorical dark. No matter what kind of dark you're in, whether it's literal darkness in the sky or you're just hiding in society, you want to be very careful what choices you make, because there are a lot of temptations and a lot of choices that are presented to you, and you have to be vigilant to ensure that you recognize the difference
Probably be a
between
level 1.
an unmitigated risk, which when you're in the dark, when you go dark, every decision you make is
I have
unmitigated,
not, but I'm grabbing it.
uncontrolled,
I'm grabbing it.
and unorganized. And whether you realize or not, if you are in the dark and there are what appear to be organized decisions being made, that's organized chaos. That is situations, people, organizations that utilize a massive amount of control and structure and process and rule setting to ensure continued progress and
I
implementation
do
of
not
their
have any of
personal
these things. PayPal,
advancement
Cash App, or Venmo.
in the
I have super
realms
chats.
of life that are unseen.
That's
So
it.
when you step into the dark, you are alone, and you have to be very careful what decisions you
have to
make.
give YouTube
And you
money
make
if you
sure
want to give
that
me money.
if you do not have a preset,
So they better be really
by
nice to
society,
me
your
all the
parents,
time.
by
if
your
they're good.
family, some form of moral compass or an ethical compass or a personality based in principle,
This is birthday 3.
that you are at least at
That's
minimum
what he said when he got on today.
deeply
Today's
organized
birthday 3.
individual
That's what it's titled.
with proper habits and rituals to keep yourself from falling off into an abyss of social disarray and ending up in a state of internal chaos. Because at that point, it is very possible, it does happen, where you're not understanding say, the difference between right and wrong, or the difference between up and down, or if what I'm saying is making any sense to you, you got to be very careful. Then the other way, and when you do that, if you know how to maneuver, these controlled, let me not say organized, but controlled parts of society that are in the dark, some people decide they want to be a part of that life. I'm not. I live in the light. I do. Am I dedicated or devoted to or loyal to the light? No, I'm loyal to myself.
I don't know what this means.
I don't know what this means. I grew up in, a very documented environment. I grew up in an environment where the future was the future, the past was the past. And, where I come from, you can't go down the street and live like it's the 1950s, right? Whereas around here, there's businesses you can walk into and you can live like people lived 50 years ago. You can have a simulated environment that reminds you of the past and gives you a chance to enjoy a culture that otherwise doesn't exist. So you're obviously not actually going into the past, but you are able to enjoy and grow into cultures that once existed, such as up here they have this escape hotel. They dress and behave in a fashion that is from the past, and it's pretty cool. And then, like, you see Disney, right? There's a lot of elements in the past that are incorporated into Disney.
Yeah, that was something.
And some people like that, Some people, they have their culture from either generations past or, more recent. Or, for some people, it's even they miss the way that they grew up and they want to live the way they grew up and listen to the music they grew up with. So there's a part of society for that too, right?
I don't know. I haven't watched the video
but
yet.
If it's not in the present moment, then it's usually, something
jealous.
As opposed to just naturally organized. It may be something that is is a part of a society that is being controlled. So be very careful with that. And if you choose to subscribe to that, then you subscribe to that. It's just then you're kind of like, that's your life and that's what you're living and there's no other way to be. So then you've made your choice at that point. And then, like I said, on the opposite end then, because there's a lot that you can derive from the dark, being in the dark and going dark, when you're not subscribing to any particular culture and you're kind of weaving in and out of what's around you. You have to have a lot of personal discipline, but it's kind of like going from place to place and getting what you can get and then moving on, right? You do a job or you take care of something and then you move on to the next thing. Then on the and you can get a lot from that, and then you recede to your own personal environment, wherever you may call home, and you're able to enjoy the spoils that you gained through those pursuits. Well, on the opposite end is the documented history, the documented environment, as people say, living in light, where it's like everything's exposed all the time. Everybody knows everyone.
This is James' account. Yeah.
To accrue and gain access to resources and things of that nature. Like I told you, operating in the dark is kind of like a job to job. And then when everything is documented, it's kind of just like you gain momentum and you build for yourself by building that history and it's kind of like the atypical having a resume, having, a work history, having a college degree, whatever it might be.
All the things James doesn't have. You missed the crack tooth. I'll play it.
So it's too,
when this ends, I'm gonna
think of it this
go
way.
back to the future.
If you're
go back
living,
to the beginning.
if you choose the path, or like I dip back and forth. I do. I seriously go all over the map. But if you're trying to just keep it black and white for yourself, some people like to keep it black and white. It's just the way
He's
a
like,
lot
Johnny
of people
Depp has
think.
bad teeth, so
And
I'll be fine.
they let society do most of the thinking for them otherwise. And there's nothing wrong with that. In my opinion, everyone's got their own lifestyle. And I mean, that's just society, you know? If you want to live in society, you kind of just got to accept that everyone's got their own lifestyle and be as cool with people as you could be. So if you're living, you know, a life where you're kind of just, you know, the atypical life that most people live, and you're just documenting your history and all that, it's kind of like pulling something behind you, you know, and
Right.
because you're carrying
John's a
stuff
nice
with you, and you
man.
want to pull your.
I'm
you're
sure one of
pulling as
those
much weight
7
as you
men
can
would be
handle.
like, but I like John.
And so
I
it's
don't want
like
to do this.
you have to remember that in order to accomplish your
And
goal,
you don't.
you have to get to your
Daisy,
destination.
but maybe that's me.
Well, don't carry more weight than you can handle for the distance you have to cover based on your capabilities. Make sure that you're carrying just enough weight to make it where you need to get to and not more than you can handle. But also don't cheat yourself and be like, well, I'm going to show up early, because in that fashion, you know, in an organized history type fashion, you want to show up where you're supposed to show up on time, not late, not early, because
Where is
all you're doing is
Congress
just giving
Troll
somebody
Cat?
else extra of what's already yours. So pull as
I'm
much
trying
as
to talk
you
to him
could
about swamp
and get
ass.
there, you know,
Where Congress? I don't
of
see.
what would be appropriate
Don't
to
see.
show up with wherever you're going to in your
In
life.
the DMs?
And it doesn't necessarily have
Swamp
to be a
ass in
physical
the
location,
DMs?
but just like maybe a lifestyle. So for example, what I am pulling with me as I build a documented history is I'm pulling myself to a lifestyle where I can live organically while also having money and being stable and safe in an environment that I want to live in. Right? And so that's what I'm doing in the documented history sense. And then in the dark, I'll go job to job, right? But I make sure that when I'm working in the dark, I stick to my ethics and I stick to my morals, so that whenever the risk of slipping shows up, I'm able to keep my balance. And when you're shifting from one way of life to another, sometimes people are going to end up following you. And, you know, because they want what you got. And they say, well, we want some of what you have. Well, that brings us full circle to, you know, like when I go into the dark and I go and I live a lifestyle where I'm getting stuff other people don't know how to get, I show back up in the light in a documented history sense, and people say, well, I want what you have. Give it to me because I want it. I'm sorry, but you don't understand that you don't have the skill set and haven't earned what you have to earn in order to get a piece of it. You don't just get it because you want to. You have to do it to earn it and say, well, just give it to me. I literally can't give you what you're asking for because
He said he
it
got
would
$20
corrupt you,
back from the nachos.
because
I'm
you
assuming
don't
he just got
understand
the
how
tip
to
back.
operate in that environment
You
without
can take your
putting
tip
yourself
back, right?
at
But you
risk.
can't, like,
It
I
would be
can't see them giving him.
irresponsible for me
the
to
whole
gift
$70.
somebody something I earned in the dark while they're living in the light,
There you guys go.
because it would darken them, and may not be capable of handling it. And so when I'm giving a gift or receiving a gift, I have to evaluate, am I capable of being myself and staying independent when I receive something or give something? And
Yeah, Emily,
if someone
he
wants
charged
something
back
from
for
me,
the
I have to be
$70
responsible
nachos.
enough to tell them yes or tell them no based on what
He did
their
that
level
yesterday.
of
He was proud of himself.
discipline is in reference
And he said he was
to
going to do the same
temptation.
thing for
If I
disability
give them
services
something,
if
is
they
it going
mess
to
around.
send them off to behave in a way that isn't healthy for them? Or is it going to increase their life and make them either more capable or
I don't even think he has an
produce
EBT
a
card.
situation
I
where
think he
they
just,
can
I don't even
become
think he has
more
a Cash
productive?
App.
And then vice versa. When someone is offering, and this is just the basic premise of temptation. You know, I mean, I was introduced to it through the Christian environment, but truthfully, like, people don't know this. Like, a lot of people don't realize how privileged we are as a society internationally. Like, you go to a third world country, they don't know what the word temptation even means, whether it's religiously related or not, right? Like, we've created like subculture on subculture based off of cultures we've recently created. And then you go to a third world country and the only thing they're thinking about is where their next meal's coming from and whether or not they need to climb up a tree, you know, to get honey out of a beehive. They don't care. They don't even know.
People wouldn't buy
Now,
him
when
food.
they
Yeah,
come here,
right
they're
after
gonna learn
he
to
said
care
like
because that's
he's
part of our
very well
culture.
fed.
You have to-
and he's got a
You
big
have to
gut.
adapt into the culture to survive. And no different than I would never survive in a third world country, because even though I have 5 generations of archaic lineage, right, of ancient lineage, what difference does that make? I go to a third world country and I try to get honey out of a tree, out of a beehive, and I'll die. Because I'll get stung by 100 bees and my body isn't capable. But then some 6-year-old
Okay.
that was raised in the ancient culture can climb into that tree and they'll get stung by 100 bees and they'll be like, literally, it's a thing. Look it up. It exists. There's cultures out there that their bodies are immune to this stuff, and ours aren't.
Are you saying there's no Western beekeepers?
It's like in the documented culture,
beekeepers.
people just expect stuff, not understanding they haven't earned it. They're like, well, it's my time.
How
And
about
it's more
third world
important than
countries
yours.
being immune to bees?
And then the darkness teaches them a lesson. People that earn stuff in the dark teach them a lesson, or vice versa. Sometimes and often, they end up teaching one another a lesson.
Pretty
and
much.
that's just the dichotomy. Sometimes people go in another direction. Sometimes the waters get muddied, and things get a little dirty here and there. But the reality is, it's the dichotomy of life. Everyone's got their own culture. And I just want you to think about and realize, before you ever
Mason,
question the establishment at large, and I'm talking about the
499.
international establishment, I'm not just talking about America. Before you go and you question the powers that be, I want you to realize and think about how many different people exist on this planet, how differently we all live and have our own personalities and our own lifestyles and our own cultures and then subcultures on that. And think about how much power, intelligence, wisdom, and experience it must take from God knows how many generations to be able to operate a society containing so many people that are so different. And then on top of it, be able to produce a culture where we all recognize and agree upon ideals and actually get along.
You don't want to see
when
James
less
go
than
to
1,000 years ago, we were,
I don't know
well,
what he considers
not
a
getting
third
along.
world country with bees in it. You don't want to see him get stung by a bunch of bees?
So one hand feeds the other, but you don't necessarily always see what each other is doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, an endless dichotomy. There's always going to be that back and forth. It's not going to stop. It's been going that way for all of recorded history. It's been understood in principle for all of unrecorded history. And more than likely, those notions will never change. They're going to pull you if you don't hop on the sidewalk. He's done. He's cooked. All right. Moving on. Oh, excuse me. I'm good. I told you. See, I keep my balance.
So. I don't know.
But then, people who live in the light will look for evidence of people that operate in the dark, and then they'll put you through. If you're someone that steps into the dark, people do. They'll test you. They'll test you pretty hard to make sure that you're an honest person and that you're trustworthy. Because for people that don't venture off into the dark, most of what they're sold on and told is that bad stuff happens in the dark and that's it. But that's not true. Not everybody. There's very few of us, but there are some of us that know how to venture off into the dark and be responsible. I'm one of those people. So I step off into the dark. I do what I got to do. Step back into the light. Proverbially, whatever.
It's just James. He's off of drugs.
Speaking.
This is him, not medicated.
Then I know.
See, I was told James would be fully medicated.
I'm thankful to have
jail.
good people in my life who will put me to the test sometimes.
Clearly not.
Just in the easiest of senses, to make sure that I'm still okay, right? Because truthfully, when you step off from one arena to another, there's a risk because of the transition. Not necessarily because of what you're doing, but because of what you're transitioning in and out of. It's the transition itself. It's the change that can produce internal destruction. You got to be very careful about that.
He's just a homeless person who walks around
So that's what I say
pretending that he
about
knows
getting good at learning
the answers to life,
and
even
learning
though
how to get good at learning.
this is the situation
What I'm
he's
saying
found
does
himself
make
in.
sense. It's not psychobabble or anything. It's just really advanced psychoanalytics and really advanced psychology, and very forward-thinking psychology. And I didn't necessarily trust in
How you doing?
the level of psychological understanding that I have, even within myself, until I put more of my own personal
I'll do what I
methods into practice
I
and honed them in and got good at what I do. And then I said, okay, my methods are effective, and thus I can trust myself. And so I take things further. And now I've learned, after becoming a more integrated member of society, how to take it slow and make sure that I go at a pace and at a rate that's healthy for me, healthy for the people that are around me. And although I might get an odd look here and there, for the most part, I'm accepted and free to move about in today's society.
He's 30.
And if somebody wants to throw a party
at
my
hairs?
house,
I'm 34. I don't think I have gray hairs.
And I feel safe to have them in my place, usually.
But
when you learn how to gain as much as I've learned to gain, greed and corruption are bound to follow. And sometimes that will create the false notion that one may be greedy or corrupt. And that is never true.
I want to know his outfit too. I'm curious. His outfit yesterday was crazy. It's not that crazy? Maybe I'm just trying to.
Pretty cool.
Feel like I'm not old yet.
Full circle. Oh man, good stuff. All right. Challenge accepted.
Makes James look more homeless.
Yeah, so I like to take challenges where they show up and where I'm capable. I'm very thankful to have been raised the way I've been raised, and I'm very blessed to have learned how to operate at the proficiency I've learned to operate, and I'm very lucky to have come from the family that I came from. And so with all those put into the mix, and then me bowing at the feet of Christ, I have a good life. But I can tell you, for how much I have in front of me and what I have in my life, if it were not for Jesus Christ, I would be screwed. You have no idea. Some people don't believe in the existence of Jesus whatsoever because they're blind mentally and they don't understand how life works. But that's okay. For me, it's a lot easier just because of my lineage. As some of you know, we're not going to get into that. But,
his Hitler lineage.
You can't account my trust in Christ as faith as much as maybe someone who doesn't have that close experience in their family history. So my family history comes from lineage that has had brushes with people that came from not just the early church, but like people that came before Christ and people that were involved with people who came from the line of Christ. So like when you have those experiences that are like so firsthand, obviously it's much easier to trust in the potentiality of the existence.
The potentiality
of, Yeshua. Right?
What?
And
Yeshua?
Faith, like for me, faith is trusting in the belief that Jesus was God. That's my belief, right? But it's much easier for me on a human basis to believe in Jesus because my family in our lineage, in our way back history, we've had brushes with the families that were involved with Yeshua. No different than Muhammad did exist, right? You got the Muslims. Muhammad did exist as a human being. He was real. He existed on the earth. Ron L. Hubbard existed. He was real. Israel existed on the earth. Yeshua existed. He was real on the earth.
Who's Yeshua?
And the fact of the matter is you can't really calculate faith. You can't really calculate belief, but you can psychologically deduce someone's experience of belief or experience of faith. And so when you're someone who has had closer dealings with the people that were like, such as the black families, it's easier because you know of the existence. Whereas you have people who come from environments that aren't familiar,
I thought that was
or in a space of understanding. Well, you can't just expect someone to agree with you, right? And so someone who they say, oh, ye of little faith. Well, you want the truth? I might meet someone that believes in Jesus much less than I do, and there's always a possibility that because I don't have the ability to calculate that beyond the
Oh.
human experience, right?
It's Hebrew.
So, like, I could say psychologically how much someone believes in something based on their brain patterns, but that doesn't constitute, the truth in reference to what we believe exists beyond science, such as, the existence of the principle and the principality of faith, right? Like the existence of faith beyond man's intervention, and the existence of belief beyond man's intervention or man's existence.
Principality,
We
potentiality.
can't calculate whether or not it does exist because we are human. So I might believe in Christ and I might believe that Jesus is God, but that doesn't mean I technically believe that Jesus is God more than the next guy, because I have those family experiences, so it's actually less likely
Joshua, Jesus.
that I know, right? The statistical probability is actually that I would, at least on a psychological basis, by
Is it
technicality,
jail talk?
have less faith
Makes sense.
than someone that, based on psychology, would be surmised to believe more than me. Or, I'm sorry, less than me. The surmission would be that they believe less than me, but realistically, on a psychological basis, that the statistics would say that they believe less than me, but the reality is, due to those brushes and experience, the reality is that they may believe more than I do. They may have a deeper understanding and a deeper belief than I do, and be at a different part, like a different place in their experience of existence. So the world has all understanding. At least that's what I believe. In my own personal truth, the world has it all. We have everything. We know everything. Beyond everything that we know as a collective race, as a collective species,
Morning,
that's
Czar.
still not enough to prove the existence of what we say is beyond our understanding. And so someone came up with the idea that there is more than we know, right? And until we know more, we don't know if there is more. And so as long as we continue to
29
learn
years is
more,
long.
which
That's more
we
than
do,
most people. Congratulations.
the most proof we have of the existence of more is our own ability to have found more.
Rev White is awesome.
Right? And so
Favorite side character.
for some people who believe the existence of things that once didn't exist in our mind is proof of him being God. And then vice versa, further proof to some is evidence to say that
Oh, he's letting
isn't
some people
God.
come in chat. Maybe I can make an
And
account
thus,
today.
The
This account's gonna
dichotomy
get
of
fucking
truth
banned.
exists, where we have that that internal choice
Hunters. Maybe he's in a better mood today.
to utilize our free will to believe or not believe. And if we were able to completely prove God,
There's only one Reverend White.
then he wouldn't be God anymore. We would then become God. And thus, some people live in a world where the most they're willing to accept is what they understand or what they're capable of grasping. And thus,
Are
those
we
are
back
the
at
gods
the
of men.
fucking bench? Oh
And
my
then
god,
there
James.
are men of God.
He's back at the
Those
bench.
of us who have
His favorite
a
bench.
mind
I
and a
swear
soul
we
dedicated
started
to
at the
Christ
bench.
and belief in the existence of him as the God of the universe. And the difference between those who believe in the world and those who believe in Christ as God is that we who believe in Christ as God are those who bring the truth to the world, and we experiment and explore
This
beyond
fucking
the human
bench.
capability and bring it into existence, and then essentially pass it on to those whose experience of life extends to the point of what already does exist, and then they put it into implementation and practice in society. And thus is truth and faith. Faith being my own personal truth. Truth
That's all he does.
being,
Just at this fucking bus stop
in
at the
some
weed shop.
senses, the faith of those who believe in the world. That doesn't make someone who works within the world a believer,
I don't
and
even
it doesn't
smoke.
count them out as
I
a
need to
believer
get out
either.
of this.
That then ties into someone's
Made it to
social
noon.
role. What is your role in the existence of life?
I'll be back.
You know, so for me, my role in life is, I mean, essentially to in a lot of senses to exist in the transition. You know, transitioning from one thing to another, meaning sometimes I'm the guy that helps find things, and then sometimes I'm the guy that enjoys
You
things.
guys be good little angels.
And then from time to time, I'm the guy who, when someone else steps up to the plate, has an opportunity to rest and recuperate. And that's my truth. I've now shared with you my internal truth, the way that I live. I can't necessarily show you every way that I live it, but I can show you the ways that I understand how to communicate to you the ways that I live. And like I said, I'm not always going to say it the way I'm supposed to, but I'm going to do my best. The potentiality of the existence. That's right. It's the potentiality of the existence. So, for example, your username is Alien, right? Also, making, I'm picking on you a little bit because as stoic and as serious as I am sometimes, I'm also a bit of a prankster. So, I'm just picking on you. I'm not. I hope you don't take that personally. But for example, do aliens exist? Who knows? I don't know. I really don't know. What I can tell you is that I've had interesting experiences in my life, but I can't prove it. I can't prove it. Somebody somewhere can prove it, but I can't. So that's where I step down. I let someone else do their job. And I don't, I'm not a bus driver, so I'm not going to drive the bus. I'm not the guy that rides the metro, so I'm not going to take his spot. But I'll sit here just long enough for him to show up here. Maybe me sitting out here make him look a little better when he sits down, whether I'm still here when he shows up or not. And that's something I can do for society when society provides me with a nice, peaceful day. When do prayers get answers versus having to suffer in life and still maintain faith? I don't know. Like I said, it really depends on what your belief is. As far as when prayers get answered, my prayers get answered every day that I'm alive. And I know that's like a cop-out answer. It's a very easy answer. But like I said, for me, in my life, I most often take the role of someone who is not a guardian of the galaxy, a guardian of the universe, a guardian of the reality. I am a defender of all things and all people. That is my truth. I don't take it to an extreme degree. I don't take it to a point where I'm losing touch with reality or losing touch with society. But I do my best to look out for people. As far as when prayers get answered, it's my viewpoint, my belief that prayers get answered when God chooses. That's how I see it. It's my opinion. And that's my experience of life. My experience of this world and my perspective in this world is that my God answers my prayers when my God chooses to answer my prayers. Sometimes I'd like to believe that he involves me in the conversation and involves me in the experience. And sometimes I'd like to believe that he just gives me a gift. And it really depends on when my God chooses to step into my life in the ways that I understand. And sometimes in ways that I don't understand. And as far as having to suffer in life and still maintain faith, it's my opinion and my submission that it's entirely opinion and it is entirely perspective. Your perspective on your suffering is going to decide how you experience that suffering and where it leads to. I will also say that there are most definitely times and experiences where your suffering is going to alter your experience of reality, and thus it's important to maintain mental control of yourself to make sure that someone cannot alter your perception and your perspective of a reality that you prefer to live in. Your perception of the reality you prefer to live.
Maybe the other alien?
Whether your perception of reality is your truth to the level where you see it as reality, or like me, where I
James
see
can't
many
prove aliens
perspectives
anymore.
and many perceptions, and it's my belief, at least within the world that I live
Jojo?
in, that those are
Jojo's annoying.
lives and realities that I could step into, the roles that I could step into. What I like to do most times is be thankful for the suffering that I'm blessed with by my God, and also pray and hope and love on the notion and the request to not have to endure suffering more than is healthy or appropriate for me. So I do my best to follow in the footsteps of Christ, but I'm also not necessarily like, I'm not a prophet, I'm not a disciple, I'm not an apostle, I'm not an evangelist. I live my own truth, and I hope for you to live your truth. And should you decide that our truths align, then I hope that we're able to meet in an appropriate space of community with discipline and with discernment.
Jojo's
Technicalities, yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you go to that level, sometimes they are technicalities. But like I said, it depends on what level of life you live on. You know, me, I like to take a pretty high up there perspective and be looking down. That's how I live most of my life, truthfully.
Is live? Well, James is live.
I look down on people
James
physically, but I don't look down on people internally.
So this is like in every single way, shape, and form. John
more.
Allgood should, be looking after Daisy. I gotta look after James.
See what happens. That's not evangelism. It's me telling you what works for me and offer it in your direction. But that's my challenge.
James, you kill someone with his registered
put your energy
hands.
out into the universe, maybe verbally or maybe just mentally, and
Daisy will just be
say universe or whoever might be listening.
Does every day.
I want more, and you're doing that just by saying you want more. I'm not the guy to
Jojo
give you more
annoyed me because
I need
like,
more
how
right
come
now, so I don't have any to give
no
you.
one lets me?
But somebody might.
I think I even let her on stream.
Somebody does. Somebody somewhere does.
I'm not gonna get into JoJo.
You just have to be willing to humble yourself enough and ask enough times and find the right people, find the appropriate people to answer those requests for you. This is the word of God. Well, thank you. Thanks. I mean, I'm speaking. I can tell you that my experience of the Bible has been fed to me through.
Gonna make a Steve Delive account.
I mean,
he's way more. I was
church.
Expecting to ban people all day.
But I live in a very free and accepting world, and I like the man that I am. I like who I've been raised to be. I believe in a church that is post Vatican II. I live in the physical and the proverbial. I live in the physical and mental. I live in the physical present. All right. I live in the present world. I live in the physical present moment. You know. And any time that I leave out certain details, it's for the sake of people who are still learning how to catch up. I've been blessed. I've been favored. I've been lucky. And I've had the opportunity to exist in the present moment and have a family lineage that has been very close to those who have had the tenacity to exist in the present moment. So that's what I do.
Good morning. We're not without my father.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thanks, Will. No, we do not need more people like me. We need less people like me. I mean, I'm a pretty smart guy, and that's what I think. And I'd like you to agree with me, but you don't have to. I really do think that this world has enough smart people. We need more people that are doing more instead of just thinking more. We got plenty of good, intelligent thinkers. We got a lot of people that sit behind desks
James
and know what they're doing.
considers himself one.
We need more people that are out here doing stuff. That's my opinion.
He also thinks
I'm
he's
a smart
doing
person that
stuff
should probably
too,
be behind a desk, and me being out here doing the work should tell you that somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or there aren't enough people out here doing what they're supposed to be doing.
He needs to make a new account, so all of my accounts will get
And I'm
blocked.
out here filling a gap for someone that's supposed to be sitting on that bench that isn't me. This bench that isn't me.
This bitch. What, James?
I don't have anything else to do with my time right now, so I don't mind. But someone else is supposed to be sitting on this bench, not me.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not supposed to be having to walk around the block over and over again. But, society needs some time to catch up from COVID, and I have the time to spare, and I'm losing weight and gaining muscle and getting smarter and getting on my feet in the ways that I want to get on my feet. And to me, I'm not on my feet till I'm a millionaire. So for now, I'm doing this. Thanks. I appreciate the compliment. Well, it's based on your belief, You got to know what's toxic and what isn't toxic. It's based on who you believe in. And when tempted, when I'm tempted with using God's will and God's word for my own favor and growth, I have to rebuke that, both on my own personal faith and because it's not healthy for the soul or the mind. And that's both on a psychological basis and on a faith-based belief. No matter what your belief is, we're going to find a common ground. I will tell you for a fact, there is no way to defeat the powers that be. I have made my agreements and I understand how this world works. And as I've said, both Yahweh and Muhammad have existed. They are both real. And in some way, shape, or form, we are connected. And I will count on that connection before I ever have a disagreement with you. And pretty soon, I'm going to buy me some shawarma. And then after I enjoy the experience, I will Google what shawarma is.
Shawarma today?
Until then, I'm in the dark, and that's okay. I don't mind, and I am definitely enjoying the beautiful experience that I have an opportunity to be a part of.
Salty.
Stacy, I did not find that answer. I didn't. That's why I'm asking you guys. There's a possibility that your personally tailored algorithm within either your AI or just your search results will tell you and give you the answer. And maybe you can give me that answer, but I have to ask for that information and that knowledge because it's not being provided directly to me for whatever reason. And I really need to know. Thank you. Some days I have good vocabulary, and some days I'm just so tired that I can't even think. Like, you'd be surprised. I have days where I just do not sound like I know what I'm talking about. Or even, I don't even sound like I know what I'm doing some days. And then some days I sound like a philosopher. And then some days I sound like a regular guy. And it is 100% related to what I do that day. Because I push myself pretty hard every day. And who I spend my time around and whatnot really shifts my behavior and the way that I'm able to communicate my personality. So thankfully, I don't struggle with any mental illness. I have an ability to logically explain and deduce my experiences and help people to understand why I behave the way I do and why I have such a wide range in my personality, of behaviors. And like I said, I still have some work to do, but I'm doing pretty good and I'm decently healthy, thankfully. Thank you. Got to do what you got to do. Ain't that the truth? Shawarma is so good. I don't know what it is, and I haven't bought it yet, and I have matured out of the brainwash of overspending or just trying to think that I'm like investing in the market by just spending my money. I've learned to invest. I've learned to save. And now I have to learn how to spend when I have money to spend. So I'm like relearning how to spend healthily, and I'm getting there. I don't mind either way. If you'd like to tell me what shawarma is, I'd be more than happy to learn now. If you want to be a part of my experience with me, and if not, then I will. I'll learn when I get there.
Oh, that's what I was
See,
doing.
some people like what I have to say, but then they see me in real life. They see me sitting here with my legs crossed, like all the way crossed, wearing like shorty shorts. So I'm a little bit of a spectacle. I'm not going to lie to you about that, but Honestly, that's part of why I live here. I live in a place where I can be accepted and free to live
You
how I
can still hear
choose.
me, right?
And you know
It
what?
might be a little
I like
glitchy.
sitting this way. I'm comfortable.
But my fucking computer.
And I
likes to
hope
do
that you can
sometimes.
find a
I
way to
think
be comfortable as well. I'm comfortable with you, however you choose to live.
I think it's my
Doesn't
internet.
mean that we're always going to associate or be involved with one another, but it does mean that we can enjoy one another from a distance. And that, I'll tell you what, I party as hard as I work. I do.
Not at all.
And since every day's a
Doesn't
party for
at all.
me,
I mean, that's pretty accurate, actually.
I make sure to, work pretty hard. And I've also learned how to integrate my pondering right into my day. So I party, I ponder, and I work all at the same time. It's called task stacking, something I learned from a very wise individual that I once used to be virtually mentored at a distance by someone whose
Okay.
lessons I've learned from and classes that
Oh,
I
he's
took
talking about
online.
Gary V. Gary fucking V.
Never got the personal experience of ever getting to know the guy. I've
You met
gotten over
him.
the fanboying,
No,
but I'll
you
tell
met
you
him.
what, there's still stuff that I learned from that guy that I implement to this day.
He didn't like you.
And I'm very thankful to have had the opportunity to be introduced to him
Well, I mean, he didn't hate
you know,
but like,
through,
I don't think you left an impression on him.
through his classes. So nowadays, most people know most of the stuff that he's talking about. People in my environment, they already know that type of stuff and they were raised on that stuff. But me, I had to be in overdrive for quite a while to get to that point. But it's nice now to be able to exist in the present moment and not have people taking from you.
All this James babble makes me have that other song that you remember, the evil Calvin Harris song. They used to take the videos down completely for no particular reason. No other song's ever done that, but the stupid Katy Perry Calvin Harris song. Welcome back. Let's see if we can use the text now number. Don't be afraid of your gun.
And as usual,
hate that song.
as opposed
Hello,
to wanting
Chris.
things I can't have, in this life, I am now to the point where there isn't anything I can't grasp.
But
I'm learning
not
to
banning
accept
people.
there are some
right?
things I just shouldn't
Got
have
fucking JoJo in there.
at certain times, and I'm being more careful and responsible with my choices. Mostly. What's up, Gilbert? And see, now I can look out for all three. I like this role. And I'll tell you what, guys, I'm so proud of myself because what I'm doing today, if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm enjoying birthday day number 3. And I don't have to watch out for any of them. I mean, I look out for them to protect them on a personal basis, but I'm not worried about their professional pursuits or their affiliate pursuits.
We could
I'm not worried about any of that.
James doesn't have a cell phone. Why did I think James had a
be
cell
under
phone?
the protection of my Lord to the level
Like
where
a
I
phone
don't have to
number
be concerned about
that
anything.
you would need to use on
I really
Bigo.
don't. I'm blessed, and I'm doing all right.
I didn't think of
I'd
this
be doing
before.
better if people were more careful, but that's okay. That's thankfully not my place to even make a comment about it, truthfully. And I'm getting there. I'm getting better. Where was I? If you have any stars that you want to see on the Walk of Fame, let me know and we'll find those stars. What else? Oh yeah. So today's birthday number 3. Today's birthday day number 3. And I'm really enjoying myself. And it's nice to be able to maintain what I'm able to maintain at this point in my life with minimal support. Like, guys, I have been working towards the man I've become my entire life. I mean, every decision I've made, every move I've made, every suffering I've experienced, every lesson that I've learned has been in the direction of becoming comparable and copacetic. And now I'm able to operate. I'm able to maintain my social role in a space where I'm almost where I'm supposed to be in a time frame that is just unbelievable. I mean, I have progressed in my craft so quickly.
What craft?
I see you. No worries. That I'm proud of myself. You know, I don't.
Look, he's not even bitching about people around him.
I don't really have anybody to turn to talk about it other than to pray to my God. I mean, God is all I got to say thank you for that and to talk to about the progress that I've made. But like, because I don't have anybody in my life that
wow, we're
like,
so back. We're so back.
To talk about
all right,
some of the stuff that I have that I have going on in my head in the good ways, not like unhealthy or any form of mental illness, just stuff that is like having to do with
not being able to
my
see
industry
me
and what I work in.
James goes on
and so
for
the progress
so long.
that I made
for so long
is just unprecedented, and I do have those innate abilities to be able to sense and understand when I am being assisted.
Daisy's being crazy.
Right? And I am gaining very minimal assistance for the amount of work that I'm putting in and the level of productivity that I'm maintaining.
Don't tell me what's progress,
at
right?
the rate that I'm moving. And I mean, what most people take a lifetime to accomplish and build up to, I've managed to get myself to this degree in my life of proficiency in less than 3 years. And I am telling you the truth. And that's why when I use the word prodigy, I use the word prodigy because I don't have any other word to explain it. Unless there are people that are unbeknownst to me that are assisting me that I don't have the ability to sense or recognize. And I don't think there are, because I'm pretty good at that. Like, I mean, that's one of the things I'm best at. I mean, when I talk about prodigy, I'm one of the best in the world at sensing things and knowing where people are and things of that nature. And I ask for help when I have to. And now I got people asking me to lower my level, and I'm not in the mood. Thank you. Yeah, no. Okay, so as I was saying, I'm doing pretty good. Very proud of myself. And so I'm celebrating with y'all on being able to maintain myself in this social role that most people take a lifetime to get to and sometimes get jealous about when they're not capable. But that has nothing to do with me. I'm just happy about it. And I'm experiencing an appropriate amount of pride over this.
This is what I mean. He's not banning everyone today. So that's good.
That is going to be a really rough crash. So yeah, I mean, I'm young, so it's expected for me to be a little cocky about it.
30.
And I'm sure I'll pay for that later.
30.
But for now, I'm just celebrating with myself and with you. So I'm excited, and I can only imagine what my life is going to be like and what I'm going to be capable of 20 years from now. If the things that I'm not really talking to you guys about that I'm capable of accomplishing in the good ways, I'm able to accomplish those things now, what am I going to be capable of in 20 years? I can only imagine. And I am so thankful to the people who are more intelligent and more experienced than me, who have chosen to make to make a personal effort in my life to help me grow and prosper to the degree that I've been able to access in my life. And when I say in my life, I mean in my mind, right? The level of self-awareness and enlightenment that I've grown to.
20 years, he'll be 50.
Okay, and to catch up on comments, I shut that broadcast down for a little bit. Did I get some cool gifts for my birthday? Yes. I'm also obviously like it's like, as complex of a thinker as I am, I have a really simple personality. I do. And that's the personality.
I do
the
what I
part
do.
of your brain that is your personality, and the part of your personality, or I'm sorry, the part of your personality. Oh my gosh, come on.
He's 30. He just turned 30.
The part of the mind that is personality is separate from the part that is intelligence. So when I come off so simple to the point where it might be difficult to believe that I'm smart, or vice versa, both are true. So in my mind, I'm a really smart guy, but I also have a really simple and easygoing personality. And your intelligence and your personality are separate parts of the brain, and they work together.
Happy birthday, Steve. You might actually like that.
When you have the ability, you can compartmentalize and focus your mindset to be able to operate in one way or another. But me personally, I don't like to operate my personality. I just I like to let life happen, and then I just use my intelligence as is appropriate. Might seem like I'm explaining basic science as things that are like super obvious, but truthfully, to some people, they're not, because they didn't have the opportunity to be raised in a
I missed some of what he
country.
said when I was doing my new account. Let's see. You gonna ban me? I think he's just ignoring me. That's a good thing, though. You can do that. He doesn't look happy, though. He looks
Absolutely.
upset.
Thank you. I know, right? I could definitely buy back that island.
See, he's even talking to me today. He could. It's like, I could buy back
Yes.
Peace Island.
Nope. Thank you. And goodbye for
There you go. That is James. So, let me show you guys what we missed while I was in bed, being like, do I need to get up for fucking James? But I do. It's what we do. I do what I do, and James does what he does. Doesn't have the same. Doesn't hit the same. When you say does instead of do. Let me see how many minutes we missed from the beginning here. 48 minutes. Oh my god. Yeah, I was really slacking. That's okay though. And then we'll see what Daisy's up to. Crazy Daisy. Crazy Daisy. Is she still live? Can I take that thing off? Or is she still live right now? Is she still liven it up? Well, I mean, like, we can watch her while it airdrops, actually, here. Let me make sure. Hey, airdrop to the right computer this time. That'd be a good idea. Yesterday I airdropped to the wrong computer, and then we had to airdrop it again. What a goofball I am sometimes. But no, it's receiving on the right video this time, so that is good. Oh, my connection's back. That's also good. Let's get rid of this here. Okay, it should let me know if it goes live again. I followed on Stevie Meanie account, so it should let me know on that one too. Where is Daisy? What is she doing? Let's see if she's still livening it up. Yeah, she's still livening it up.
Oh, no. Yeah, D. I'm going to call D. And there's another goddess. But goddesses, like, rarely ever reach out to me. Men never reach out to me. When I make my number public, they never reach out to me. one guy, the reason I'm bringing this up, Mary, the reason I'm bringing this up,
Oh, just on the phone.
there was
Mary.
a guy who had the nerve to text me and ask me to coffee, and I assumed I met him on the beach until he said that he met me on here. You want to know something, men?
What?
Do not text me. I'm gonna block you. I don't want to talk to you.
Why
I
have your
only want to
number
talk to
public?
the goddesses. Don't text me. I'm Daisy the Venice healer, and I want my goddess squad.
Who texted her?
Goddess, I just want to finish my message to the men. Like I stick with the women. I want to connect deeply, have soul connections. Men, I have zero interest. I don't want to talk to you. If you're someone I met on the beach, I like
I
you.
thought
Like
she had a threesome.
I take a
Or
long time to like
seven
someone,
some.
and I don't just give my number to anyone. If you're texting me when I made my number public, you're invading my boundaries, and that's
What do you-
you're
you made
basically
number
that's an
public?
injury.
So glad I
okay?
never texted
because I
this
told
crazy
you
woman.
not to do it,
I was thinking about it a
and
couple
I don't
times.
want it, and you're doing it anyways. That's
Just to
an
get her on the
invasion.
show, but like
That's
fuck
an
that.
injury.
Look at
So
listen to
we
this.
need to be more caring and life enriching about with each other, and
Crazy
men,
woman.
stick with the men. Goddesses, if I vibe with you, if you want to be my best friend, please reach out to me because I don't have that many girlfriends. I don't have that many
No,
women
just
I
because
talk
like
to,
she's
and I
been on
want a
the
group of women who I could talk
show
to
a couple
almost
times,
every single day.
and like it's
I want a
easy. I was
goddess
like, it would
heart
just be
table, Daisy the
easier to
Venice healer on the
contact
goddess
her
heart table. So that's
than
what I
like
want to say.
on the Instagram account. But I'd rather talk to John Allgood. John Allgood
We'll
is
just get a
way more
blanket
chill
that's shaped
than
like
this.
a heart and sit on it. And I have a
We could draw
friend
on
that already
Daisy.
makes heart blankets.
Make her,
All right, we could get a heart table.
make her have devil horns.
Ooh, goddess, can I give you a call back because I'm supposed to meet this king and he gets mad if I'm late. Okay, love you.
I don't want
Alright, you
no
guys-
interest in men. While I go see a man now. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about texting Daisy. Obviously not. Like she's fucking crazy.
All right, you guys. he's
She's
great.
crazy, and she'll like just
Good.
come on the show anyways. We don't need to text her.
We could do more eyeliner.
She just does this shit when she comes on anyways. Or just like, you want to do yoga? I don't want to do
Did my
yoga.
eyelashes get longer?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to run a
My
cult,
eyes
Kayla.
got sparklier.
I don't know if you know
Watch
this
this.
one, this crazy
My
one.
lips are gonna get more plumpy. La 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 la. My lips got juicier. La la la. Ooh. Oh my gosh. I'm getting too lovable. So amazing. It's called a gorgeous spell. All you do is just sing to your body and then you realize how gorgeous you are. Oh my gosh.
Yeah?
It's so wonderful. Oh, my wonderfulness. Oh. I'm the most gorgeous, beautiful beauty in the world. What? I didn't know that I got that lovable. I am really lovable. Look at how lovable you are too. Do you want to have a love-a-thon? We'll have a love party. Okay. Come to Venice Beach. We can't just have a love party on YouTube. Is that what
She
you
hates
want? You
men.
just want to have a YouTube
That's why she's getting ready to see a guy right
It's
now.
fine, I'll meet you where you're at. It's kind of hard only seeing you
Fucking
on
John
YouTube.
yesterday.
Like,
Yo, yesterday was
You
crazy.
could come to Venice. Actually, you don't even have to pay rent. You just live on the beach. Like, you guys want to see where I live? This is where I live. You guys see the ocean? There's a skate park. See the skate park?
Can I drag this thing over so you
Oh,
guys
it's
can
cool.
see
Everyone
how long
loves
it's
you
gonna be?
when you live here because we're all friends.
No.
Everyone loves you when you live here because
Just weird.
we always see each other. And we got a bank account with clout. It's good to have a bank account with
There's
clout.
no money in this bank
I
account.
know
Just
that you
clout.
love stuff, but you get more stuff when you have community.
This is
Like, remember when Jesus fed everyone
Oh.
with one fish?
It's not even what I
Well,
meant to
I
do.
caffeinate everyone with one coffee. And you can too. Like, I could...
This
you could,
is how
like, do the
far we
makeup
are.
of the whole world with one lipstick. If
Just
you
need to
become
get to
enlightened.
there. And then we'll go back to
Seriously.
James.
Like,
But,
Paris Hilton could
yeah,
make
it's got
everyone
Daisy
in
for
the
now.
world hot if she became enlightened.
This is what people wanted me to turn to. Daisy's live.
Jesus
Wow.
fed everyone with one fish because he had a longing and desire to feed everyone. All we need is a longing and desire for fluffy, bouncy hair, for everyone to not only have fish but green juice. Or do you see what I'm saying?
James says
then
fish in
we
his
come
ass
together
right
because
now.
we share
Why
what
do you
green
why do
juice
you
will
guys think his
quench
fish? So why do you think
thirst
his
and
ass smells like fish?
alkalize and bring nutrients and deliciousness and green juiciness to the body.
Fucking
for all
TLC.
humans.
The learning channel needs him.
What do you guys think about that? Huh? Do you know that you're lovable? Is your lovability undeniable? Are you thinking about how lovable you are? Let me see your smile. You're so cute. Let me see your smile. Are you going to cry because you're not used to being so lovable? It's okay. Go cry. Go ahead. I love you. You're so lovable. Of course you feel how you feel. It's been really hard for you. But put all that down. Stop carrying it around. Get help.
An
We're gonna
STI
help
in
you
his
carry it.
butt?
You don't carry
Oh,
it on your
no.
own anymore.
I mean that makes sense.
I got this. All right, we gotta go though. I love you. I gotta go meet this hot guy. I'll live stream again. Okay. Okay, screw it. Let's just live stream the whole time. Let me tell him.
He seems. We have it on like high speed. That wouldn't make sense. It's live. And we don't have it on high speed. Why is she like feel like she's on high speed? Am I just really high? It's James slowed me down to the point where Daisy seems like she's going at light speed. Doesn't she? Look, she's moving fast.
If you guys see me go under the blanket, it's because YouTube doesn't let you be hot, doesn't let you have cleavage, doesn't let you smoke weed. YouTube doesn't let you do anything fun. So if you see me go under the blanket, I'm doing something cool. Probably smoking weed or something. So just so you guys know. But you know how YouTube is. They're always trying to like just YouTube it. So it's okay. You know that the YouTube headquarters is in California. We could go there. It's 5 hours away.
Like I said yesterday, I appreciate her not smoking on camera anymore. She just shows weed to the camera for some fucking reason. But you know, right now she's away. But smoking in front, it's good. I guess her channel's monetized now. Why would she care? She never cared before. Maybe Anthony was like, yeah, you just press this button, now you're monetized. Whoa, whoa, wee, whoa. Market economy. She had a coffee date at 6:30 a.m. and a juice date with a different guy at 7:30. She's probably caffeine pumped. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Just seems, yeah, I thought I had it on like 1.25 speed or something, but it'd be impossible. No, Daisy wouldn't do that.
Right, you guys. No more hurting each other and acting out. Okay? No more hurting each other and acting out. Women, you don't use men. They're not errand boys. They're not here to give us rides, pay our bills. Men, do not use women. Just because a woman wants to sleep with you does not mean you sleep with her. Sex is sacred.
Isn't she going to sleep with some hot dude right now? And has 7 some?
So what happens to your body when you eat a whole bunch of junk food? Then you
Would
don't
it be an
get
8 some? She's the
nutrients
8th person, right?
that you need.
An octopus?
If you
Or
have junky bad sex, same thing. You do not get the nutrients that you need.
uh-oh.
Alright,
We're not gonna have enough room for 8 legs.
What is this?
Tentacles?
Here it is. I knew it
1,
was
2,
five.
3, 4. Oh wait, maybe. I need to fix this fucking thing.
Yay. There's my temple.
The drugs ate her brain.
There's a lot of city workers here today. It was like a big weekend in Venice.
It looks
Ooh,
pretty
it's
foggy.
cold.
Oh yeah, Kayla, if you're new to this one, she doesn't wear shoes, so her feet are all messed up. They're crazy. They're crazy feet. They're the craziest feet I've seen. Her hands are pretty crazy too. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not like nitpicking. Like Megan Fox has weird thumbs, but like her hands are like crazy. I actually got yelled at CVS. Yelled at in CVS. Not
October's
yelled
the
at,
hottest
I guess,
month.
but this lady
So
there
even
was
though it's
like,
cold right now, it's
and
gonna
why
be
you think
hot.
your feet are all fucked up and shit? He's like, I love my feet.
Alright, you guys.
You make sense, goddess. Blah.
Oh, there's the Venice B camera. Alright, I'm gonna let you guys go. Superheroes, good to see you.
Are we actually getting let go this
Have a
time?
good one.
She said this like 4 times. Alright, she's actually letting us go. We got a little bit more till the airdrop pops. Ah! That's copywritten music. Okay. Whoa. Let's get a sneak peek for what this this nonsense is. Oh, that's not what I want. All good cheating on me, so I had 7 of my kings over.
Last night, I told them they had to leave by 6 o'clock, and it's 6:06. So all the kings left. And isn't this cute? This is what I wore. It's like, look how cute it is.
Is this, can I show this on the YouTubes?
This is my outfit.
I mean, it's
with
on
my
YouTube.
kings.
YouTube, this is on your
This came
platform.
over last night.
They get mad at me
Basically,
sometimes. Anyways, even if it
I
is
found
on
out
my
All Good was cheating on me. So we're supposed to be ethically non-monogamous. But All Good decided to sleep with a whole bunch of girls. And he wasn't just sleeping with, like, girls that I knew or we talked about. It was random girls that he didn't even know that he just met. And then when I tried to tell him
That's what,
that I was injured, that he hurt me by doing that.
is that not what she does? She just meets random dudes and fucking sleep. I don't think there's much of a vetting process. I said this yesterday. I think she just like, oh, that guy's hot. I'm gonna chase him down on the skateboard or whatever, and then like whatever happens, happens. But now that John Allgood's here, and John Allgood does whatever the fuck he wants, she doesn't like it.
That he tried to act like I didn't have a right to be upset. So
Please turn her up. Can I turn her up? You know what? You know what, Jill Phones? You know what? Normally, whoopsies. I didn't mean to do that. Normally I wouldn't be able to, but you know what? I can because we're using stupid OBS, which is actually a really good fucking thing. But hold on. Oh, play.
I decided to invite
Why is
7 of my
fucking
kings.
headphones not working?
And there was Pug King and Fire King.
That's
King
better, right?
Dizzle.
That's better, right? Let me know if that's better.
Were just a few of them. And I just had the best time. There was only 2 kings who were new, but 5 of them I've known for years. It was the best lovemaking ever. We made love all night, me and 7 of the kings.
Is she just saying this to make John jealous, or did this actually happen?
Allgood's house.
It's a little better. Hold on.
This is Allgood's house. And why did I make love in Allgood's house? So that I can mark my territory with all
So I can mark my territory.
of my kings, because I'm honest with him. When I went to go on a date with Fire King, I told him, and he was even invited. But Allgood doesn't like to include me. He likes to keep women secret. And when guys are doing that, it's because they're not really interested in being with you. If a guy doesn't invite you out places, then that means he's using you for pussy. So basically,
Oh, is that what it means? Is that what I mean? Where do you go with all the kings? Go on magical journeys and shit, or they just come into your tent? I think that's What happens? Or she like crashes at their place.
All good.
Like John, like fucking John. Where did her and John go to other than the courthouse to cause a nuisance and get arrested and shit? Like they didn't. I don't remember them going on any like fantastical dates. She doesn't like market economy, so where would they even fucking go? They just go to the beach every day, which is like right outside his house.
Supposed to be my best friend.
Sorry, sometimes they go to that fucking balancing beam and walk around on that.
But if he's not inviting me to hang out with his friends, that means he's using me for pussy. So I just decided to have like a last hurrah. And that's why I had the 7 kings come. And yes, Baby Yoda, my body is a temple. I've known these kings for years. There was only 2 new kings.
For you, it's only 2 new ones. Who are the 2 new ones?
And, you know, when you're already having sex with 5 kings and 2 of them are friends with the other 5 and, you know, you may have just met them not that long ago.
This just sounds like excuses. This just sounds like fucking stupid excuses. It's that, like, how many girls did John sleep with? She knew about Anisha, right? She was jealous of her fluffy fucking hair. There was Grace, but I thought they were all cool until, like, I don't know, so there was some falling out. But this dominatrix, she does not like. I don't know if I said that right. I'm not gonna try to say it again. But yeah, this Monique lady, she really don't like.
But it was just kind of like, in the moment, it was okay, I guess. Now they're definitely part of the He Hive, and they're part of the Kings. But, you know, I got tired of only being with Allgood. He was the only man I was with. I had that one date with Fire King before. But then all I had was my ex-husband, Prince, for a whole year. So it was amazing. Hello, you guys. Baby Yoda, it's not gross. It's not gross to have sex with 7 people at once.
I don't know. That's subjective.
It was all men. Do you know how many muscles and body parts that were hairy and muscly were around me? It was incredible. The men were picking me up and carrying me around. First, we did a ceremony where they carried me up and down the boardwalk.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Did this actually happen? We could see on the Venice live cams. Hold on. We'll go to the Venice live cams. Like, the thing is airdrop, by the way. Should we just save this for the Daisy stream? I feel like we should save this for the Daisy stream. Hello, Trisha. Yeah, she reached a new low. This crazy lady. I just want to see, like, if this was yesterday, then the live cams, don't they loop? Like, they delete every 24 hours, so we probably want to get that now. Live cam. Is this it? No, this is fucking Venice, Italy. I always do this. Venice Beach. Okay. So, like, where did this fucking walked you up and down the boardwalk yesterday? This is the nighttime. Oh, the nighttime of yesterday. 12 hours ago would have been... Doesn't make sense to me. Is it just gloomy yesterday? 1 p.m. That would be all 1 a.m. Oh, this would be gone then. If it was this only from 12 hours ago, it'd be 1 a.m. Alright, well that sucks. Well, Mamma mia. Hold on. We'll do a poll. You guys gotta vote on the poll like right away though, because I'm only gonna keep it up for like a minute. Should we keep going? Or go back to James? Keep going. Back to James. Alright. Alright, vote your hearts out while I delete this one thing off my phone quick so we have memories. Oh, we will. Delete. This is the police. Bum, 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 bum. Looks like keep going. Keep going is gonna get it. If you haven't voted, vote now. We got like a third of the people have voted. Okay, okay. Give it a couple more seconds. Alright, we'll keep going.
Then we all came to Allgood's house, and I invited them because I was trying to hang out with Allgood, and he was ghosting me. When Allgood goes to see other women,
Oh, I don't
then he
have
likes
I don't have my camera here. Maybe I can get it.
to ghost me and not answer
What do I look
any
like
of my
today? I
text
don't even
messages.
know. Okay.
So
Woo.
since he was ghosting me, I couldn't tell him that 7 kings came over last night. Oh, I should tell him though, huh? Here, let's text him right now. Say, just so you know, I had a gangbang at your house with 7 of my kings.
Just so
last
you
night,
know.
and then we'll
Just so
send
you
him a
know.
picture. Okay?
Jesus jumping.
So here's Allgood. Look at all these messages I sending him. He's not even texting me back. It's called ghosting. So I had a gang bang at your place
This is fucking crazy. This is crazy even for Daisy.
last night with 7 kings, and I wanted to let you know out of respect.
Yeah, it's all about respect. That's that's what she was
The
thinking
last one just
at the
left.
time.
And then we'll send him a picture so he can see how, because I look really good. Look, this is what I wore for the kings. We're just gonna let Allgood know I had a.
I don't think John's gonna care. John really doesn't care about anything else. I think he's just gonna be like, well, then yeah, I'm gonna keep fucking these women then. Like, what's my incentive to not fuck all the other women then?
I think it's called like a 8-some. If there's 8, if it's 1 girl and 7 guys, then it's a he hive. Here, we're gonna do bowling. How about that?
I was right about the 8-some. That was the
Okay,
right terminology.
How does this look?
My headphones are being evil.
So I had a gangbang at your place last night with 7 kings, just so you know. The last one just left. And then I sent that picture.
But like, where's the picture of the kings? I don't know. I don't know if this happened. I think this might just be a jealousy thing, because like, are guys just that horny? But they're like, okay, yeah, let's do an 8-some? An 8-some that's a lot of people.
Okay, good. We just want Allgood to know, because we're ethically non-monogamous.
Who was Eric Cartman's dad? Yeah, it's that kind of situation. If she gets pregnant, oh my god. This is literally the origin story of Eric Cartman.
So if I have sex with 7 kings at the same time, especially in Allgood's bed, he doesn't have that big of a bed. It's like queen size. One of the kings has a mansion in Santa Monica. He has this balcony that circles all the way around his pool. I call him the Steel King. The Steel King was there too. Steel King, he went last because he was the biggest. And we were going to go to his place, but I told him, like, I just want to get all of the male musk everywhere. So there's like ejaculation all over the place.
Okay, what the fuck? What the fuck, Daisy? Oh, mamma mia. It's for educational purposes, and yeah, this is for educational purposes.
Allgood's gonna have to deal with. It was pretty wild. I still woke up at 5 in the morning though, even though we were up, pretty late. It was like midnight. So it was pretty amazing. I usually don't act out sexually, but I really needed to see my kings. And, the he hive has been really neglected. I've just been hanging out with Allgood, and all of my kings have been texting me every day, and they've all been coming to see me at the beach every day, and they've been taking me to.
We're gonna watch this work. This might be not safe for work, but I'm gonna try to keep this as PG as possible. I can't see into the future though, so bear with me.
Yoga and bringing me food, and I decided that they're doing everything I'm asking Allgood to do. They're inviting me out. They're taking me to yoga. This is all the stuff Allgood doesn't do. So why should I be sleeping with All Good when he just wants to have one night stands? And it's kind of gross too because see, all of my 7 kings last night, we were all sober. And All
Okay, yeah. I was gonna be like, it's not gross to have sex with 7 people at the same time, but John with his one night stands every now and then.
Good likes to go out and drink. And I don't drink anymore. And also, he had sex with a woman who's in the sex industry.
Like she was.
I don't sleep with people who are doing drugs or alcohol or in the sex industry, or I just don't do that because
Because she's already done that, and she's now judgmental of it.
my past life. So, as a recovering addict, I don't have any desire to be anywhere near it. It's not that I'm like trying to avoid it, or it's like, why would I?
You literally just described trying to avoid it, but okay. I'm trying to avoid it. I'm just doing everything to not be around it.
I do that. I don't numb out. I don't sell my body. Nothing's for sale. So it really grossed me out that All Good not only lied to me about where he was, which is cheating. If you're in an ethical non-monogamous relationship and you lie about where you are, that's cheating. See, I didn't cheat on All Good. I told him I had a gangbang with 7 kings. So, and that's just because he cheated on me. I needed to I guess I just needed some love. And my pain was really epic.
So epic, we needed 7 cocks.
So I needed 7 lovers. I tried to get 12, but 5 of them.
We tried for 12. We came up about half short. One above half a dozen. We tried for a dozen though, guys.
Them couldn't come. I wanted to have a dozen men last night really bad. I tried so hard. I have thousands of boyfriends. You'd think I could at least get a dozen. But for some reason, they were not able to come. The power of my goddess energy, I can make the guys immediately. I don't want to say come, but I can make them.
Well, we already said ejaculate. This is what I mean. Jesus Christ.
Ejaculate immediately. But I don't. Like sometimes I'll just send my goddess energy to them, and after I make love to them, their orgasm will just continue for 20 minutes until it's their turn.
Oh yeah. That's totally a thing. The pigs, I think that's a pig. Pigs have orgasms for 20 minutes. This is educational. Here, I'll show you guys.
Because it's about 20 minutes for the other 6 guys to have their turn. And if each guy takes a turn and you go nice and slow and make it really tantric.
The longest orgasm of mammals, I mean, I'm not really. This is a big word. Is that of the domestic pig? On average, it lasts 30 minutes. There you go. So, yeah, what, they're like pigs? I don't think so. Daisy, but whatevs. This is her story that totally happened, guys.
You could have sex for hours and hours and hours. And then when you need something, you just tell one of the guys. One of the guys was rubbing my feet. The other guy was braiding and brushing my hair. The other guy was caressing me all over. And then the other guy was trying to
Did the pigs wear a condom? I don't know. I don't know about no pigs.
feed me grapes.
No, she didn't bang pigs.
But I didn't want to eat grapes. So he just put his genitals right by my face. And I was just smelling them. It was so nice. It was amazing. So, and then they all just kept throwing rose petals at me.
This did not happen.
And licking me and stuff. So I'm telling you guys because I'm hoping your mirror receptors will grow. I want you guys, if you want to have a he hive goddesses, please get a he hive. It's the best. And if you're in my goddess squad, I'm wired to partner with other women so we can share the he hive. So there's the goddess squad and then there's the he hive and we all just hang out together.
Yeah, you hear that, Cleveland housewife and Queen Diana of everything or whatever the fuck your names are? You're gonna be sharing John and the rest of the he hive, all these 7 dudes. This is what your future holds. You guys picked the right side. And
But not all of
that stupid Steve guy makes me watch crazy people online, but Daisy, She's gonna get me gangbanged. Oh, hell yeah.
The guys in the he hive and all of the goddesses like each other. So you just pick who you like. All the guys in the he hive like me, but sometimes they don't like the other goddesses because it's my he hive. I started it. And then there's other members that are not in the he hive. They don't count because they're like kings of the other goddesses. Like Grace has a couple guys in her he hive that I do not consider to be in my he hive. But all of my kings are
Grace is still around?
in Grace's he hive because I only date guys who are a 9.9 or above. That was another thing.
We've seen Jeff too. I mean, John, like I said, John is like, kind of like Brad Pitt, Timu Brad Pitt. I'm trying to think of the other guy she was with. The Turkish king, like, kind of didn't want to be with her, so we won't count that one. Jeff 1, I guess he came for money. He was well groomed. Who are the other? I don't know what Fire King looks like.
Thing too, All Good, like stopped working out, so his muscles were getting soft. So I decided to have a gangbang with those 7 guys.
I'm trying to get back on John's good side, Jill. I need John is a nice man, all right? He is, we used to be bestest of friends. Actually, no, not really, but you know.
So I could talk to them about helping All Good because he's like really soft. He has no muscles. And it's from lying around all day because
Turkish King was supposedly in the gangbang. Yeah, no, this didn't happen. This fucking thing didn't happen.
he's either like too depressed to take me anywhere and do anything with me, or he's acting out, drinking and getting hungover and having sex with random women. And he thinks that because these women are willing to sleep with him on the first night, that of course he's sleeping with them. Like he should be having random sex with these women because they're willing to. And I mean, I don't like that at all. I don't think that that's
9.
like our bodies are sacred.
9.9.
Takes me at least 6 months to a year to want to sleep with a guy. The 2 new guys, I've known each of them for 8 months. And I mean, that's not that long. Like my other kings I've known for years.
How long did you know John?
New guys, it was not as good as with the kings I've known for 5 years or more. Because when you've known kings for a really long time, then everything's better. I told All Good, I don't want bad sex. I don't want to have unhealthiness or people who drink. I just don't want any of it. So we're broken up. I'm going through a breakup.
You're in his house. Oh my goodness. Where are we going, Daisy? What are you gonna do?
With All Good, and I probably shouldn't even be at his house right now having a gangbang. But I did have a gangbang at his house because I came here last night to talk to him because he's ghosting me again and he's not here.
Completely normal thing to do is like, if someone is not responding, just show up at their house, and even if they're not there, just let yourself in and have a gangbang with 7 other people. That's normal.
So I just decided that I was gonna let some other people sleep at my temple last night. So I told Low-Key and a few others, like, hey, you guys could go crash at the temple. And then they went and crashed at the temple. And I had a gangbang. It was incredible. And All Good knows we're ethically non-monogamous, and now we're broken up. But because out of respect and because I want people to be honest with me, I texted All Good and told him everything, you guys. I didn't tell him ahead of time though, because it was kind of spontaneous.
Just like, the timing didn't line up.
And usually my kings just like immediately appear when I want them. For some reason, it took some of them a little bit to come over. But, the moment I realized All Good wasn't here and he's with that other woman who, by the way, is in the sex industry. So he's having sex with a sex worker and getting drunk and hungover. And like, I'm just like so far past that. I'm so turned off now. And my kings would never dream of acting like that. Like, they're all so healthy. All they want to do is work out with me. and caress me and massage me and sing to me.
What the fuck kind of okay, whatever. What a weird life.
Yes. I'm not sure what happened with All Good, except I think that All Good was using me for
Replaced.
sex
Oh.
and wanting to like keep me separate from the rest of his life, and that's why he wasn't inviting me out, so then he can go meet other women, go find his ride or die, which I think he's looking for his ride or die. And then he can just keep me around for sex, and that is not okay. My body is safe.
What's going on? Sounds like a disease-ridden landfill. I mean, maybe a little bit. She's I don't think that the gangbang didn't happen, but she really loves John, and she's so angry that he doesn't want to like love her back the same way. Like John wants to go have a family out on the farm or something, and she's like, "No, we got to be on Venice Beach and be superheroes and disrupt market economy." And he's like, "Well, that's stupid, you know. I want like an actual life, you know, with an actual future and actual kids." And she doesn't have custody of any of her kids, and she's just like loud and crazy.
So that's what's up. And I'm much happier with all my kings anyways. You know, when there's tons of kings, like one king is taking me this morning to coffee at 6:30. Another king is taking me for juice at 7:30. And the king who takes me to coffee at 6:30 plays nice with the king who takes me for juice at 7:30. So we're all gonna hang out together and have juice. My coffee king, I'm supposed to meet him in 10 minutes at 6:30 because that's when Starbucks opens. And it's like now that I opened up my beehive and I'm actually hanging out with my guys, it's like I don't have to do anything. Guys are like, please don't open your door. You should never open a door. We're gonna open the door for you. So I closed the door and I waited
I'm gonna need a nap too. I just woke up. You already need a nap.
for them to open it. And then they were like trying to wrestle each other. But I like when they wrestle because they do rough affection. They don't hurt each other. This morning, after hours and hours of incredible sex with my 7 kings, I had them all wrestle. It was so cute. And they were wrestling each other, and I was showing them how to wrestle because there's this one king, Fire King and Dizzle are really sweet, and so is Steel King. But then there's Smooth
Steel King? Like steel forks and knives and shit? Or like that he steals stuff a lot, like he's into he's a kleptomaniac. What kind of stealing are we talking about?
King. Smoothie King is really rough, and he was the only ginger, and he's 6'6" with ginormous muscles. So I told him, be gentle. He kept wanting to wrestle really rough, and it is rough affection, but he was hurting the other kings. So I had to tell him, like, Smoothie King, we need to do gentle wrestling. So then I showed him how to do deep tissue. So while the kings were wrestling, I had him do deep tissue massage. Fire King is the only king who's bisexual out of all of them. So
Do we
Fire King.
Do we have a picture of Fire King anywhere? I feel like we've heard about him enough times that we should have visual on him. I've just never seen him in any of the videos that I know of. If there's a video where she shows Fire King and you want to link it, put it in chat, I'll pull it up.
Basically, just like, I had the best time of all. He had an amazing time. Everyone had an amazing time. Yeah. I know, I had a few hours, I had 5 hours of sleep. I slept
A lot.
from midnight until 5 a.m. and staying up till midnight's up all night for me because I usually go to bed at like
Bomb was a friend of Daisy's? What?
4 hours of love making. It was crazy. So I love making so much, especially Pug. Oh my god. Pug King is back. Pug King wants to
Pug King? Okay, we got Steel King, Fire King, Pug King, Dizzle, which is the Turkish king.
get me a membership at the hot yoga studio again, but I told him I have too many kings right now and I'm not going to get a membership. I'm just, because I've already been banned from that yoga studio. I told him So now I just go to this one yoga studio, and the kings like to pay for the classes. So I just let them pay for the classes. Even though it's only $200 a month, they'd rather spend money
$200 a month? They just like paying for the classes? What?
every time I go. So
Oh, Pug King is Steven Aronoff, the grasshopper lawyer guy? He's Grasshopper too, right? Why do they all have like multiple nicknames? It gets confusing.
I just said that's fine. I think it's because they like that. Hey, Goddess Diana. Goddess Diana's here. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Has Diana been up to anything?
Diana, I'm gonna call you when I end my live stream. Goddess, do you think that Queen of Everything, do you think that All Good is going to be excited when he finds out how much action I got? Do you think he'll be happy for me? I'm so happy. Like, look at my face.
Yeah, it seems like fake happiness, but okay, we can say we're happy.
Watch this. Hair flip, shoulder. Just so you know, I had a good night.
Yeah? Okay.
Goddess, Queen of Everything. Is All Good gonna be happy that I had 7 kings in one night? I was trying to get 12. Ugh. It was crazy, dude. Like, I came so many times. I like lost count. It was incredible. I think I'm gonna do King Night every Sunday. Sunday is gonna be King Night. And then I will have all of my kings come and give me pleasure. Yeah, it was really nice. The kings were so gentle, and they were learning from me.
Why not just start an OnlyFans at this point? I thought for sure that her and All Good were going to, especially with the like shorts they were posting. It was basically, in my opinion, just advertisement for it, but I guess like now she's mad at All Good. But this isn't gonna work. You don't have a place to do this, you know? She's gonna get arrested again if she does it at the beach. And John isn't gonna what is John's response to this? Should I reach out to John? Or should I ask him? I don't think he'll get back to me. I mean, we can try.
Each other. Fire King used to be like boo 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 boo. Like, he didn't
We'll just send him the video link and be like, John, what is happening?
really know how to give it to me. So the other 6 kings showed him. Like, he's always done it way too rough. It was like last night, by watching the other 6 kings, all of the kings became better because each one of the 7 kings would witness the other kings take a turn with me, and I watched them. They were like, that's amazing. Like, you know how to do the hip thrust, and you're doing like the booty bounce. I could tell
Yeah,
they
that's what
were
happened.
learning each other's moves, because one of them would have a turn with me, and then the other one would do one of the same moves that they did. Like, they think I can't tell. So amazing. It was incredible. So I have a date with 2 of the kings this morning, coffee at 6:30, juice at 7:30. And then I have 4 more kings, but these are different kings. The 2 that I'm meeting this morning, the other, like, they're all different kings. There's thousands. So I tried to see.
There's thousands? I thought there was only like, I can't remember the number. She says at least 7, but that you knew them all for years and years and years, and like you didn't just meet them in one night stands, blah blah blah. There's thousands now. Thousands, okay.
Each king at least once a week, and they have to come to my temple every week, and they have to lick me somewhere that I tell them every week, and they have to text me when I want them to. They do all of this, by the way, and they have to feed me and do whatever I say. And the reason why is because when men are around women goddesses, they get so much energy. Seriously, like, they flood with oxytocin and serotonin and dopamine. It's incredible. And then after they flood with all of the healing elixirs, then they look younger. So
21, okay.
they just love it.
I will be right back. I can leave for a hot
Now I
second.
have to look hot again. Step 1, look hot. Step 2, have guys drive you places. Step 3, have men bring you food. Step 4, don't sleep with them forever and ever and ever or never. Step 5, stick with the goddesses and empower each other. And dance your ass off. That's the steps of the kings. I love my kings so much. I wish All Good would have come to the gangbang. You know, I didn't invite All Good to the gangbang. Do you think he'll be mad? Ooh, I should have. Oh, he was already having sex with the prostitute, though. All Good really loves this prostitute girl for some reason. I have no idea why, but
I'm back. Okay, so like there's steps. One of them was like have them drive you places, have them feed you. She was literally yelling on the beach yesterday, being like, "Oh, don't use men to just drive you around places and this and that. Don't rely on them to eat." And I was like, "What about John? Isn't that what you're doing with John?" And now this is one of the steps. Okay. Whatever.
he's dating some girl in the sex industry. And that's like such a turn off to me.
The sex industry.
Gross. That's why I didn't invite him. Because I actually don't want to be with him anymore. And none of my kings would ever dream of dating a woman like that. I did a poll. Like, it's not that hard to get laid. If you're a guy and you really want to get laid,
Did a poll?
it's not that hard. And he wants to act.
That's why there's like incels that shoot up schools and stuff, you know? Because if you're a guy, it's so easy to get laid. I mean, like, I don't know. Those kind of guys are insane. Like James Soroka kind of guys, fucking insane, right? But I just, I don't know, generalizations.
Like, just because a woman wants to sleep with him, he should be sleeping with her. Like, of course he slept with her. It's like, no, I'm your partner. You talk to me first.
Dominatrix. I'm doing better today. I'm doing better.
We're ethical non-monogamy, so we don't go out and have one-night stands and act out sexually. Like, you don't do that when, you know, hey, Baby Yoda, you're not being nice. Whoa, Baby Yoda got deleted. Dang. Baby Yoda. Can't be mean. Now you have to create a new profile. You guys. First John, now Olga. You don't like reactions, so you're trying to hurt them back.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelly. See, some of us are not wired for monogamy. And when we label people, oh, you're this or that or that, I'm not wired for more than one people. I'm wired for a lot. And I don't like going on a date with one guy at a time. I like having like 5 or 6 guys with me when I go on a date. So
An entourage.
that's what's up. It's also 6:30. To tell this guy I'm a little bit late.
Oh, we're going on another. Have the gangbang, go on another date. Probably export.
All right, actually, I'm gonna
video.
call. Well, All Good knows I had a gangbang at his house, so he can't really be mad. I mean, I did come here to see him last night, and he wasn't here. He was with that other girl, so he'll understand. He'll get over it. What do you guys think? Do you guys ever act out?
I think you're full of shit, Daisy. That's what I told John. Well, I just sent him the link and I was like, I think she's capping, but mamma mia. So let's see what he says. We'll see if he says anything back by the end of the stream.
Like when you have a breakup, it's like, oh, let me just take care of myself. Like, let me just feel loved and desired, especially after having to be around someone who's not making me feel the way that I want to feel. That's what's up, you guys. I gotta go to my date. I hope that you guys have an amazing, wonderful, extremely pleasurable love life like me. I want us all to feel like I had this amazing feeling in the bath this morning. I was like, my tribe is coming. We're always doing the 5 steps of global liberation, but my tribe is coming. Like, I'm not a lone wolf anymore. My tribe is coming. So you guys think that way too, okay? Your tribe is coming. Hey.
I don't know about that. Other crazy ladies that want to be enabled. I'm like talking to Daisy because they're a little less crazy than she is. Maybe her tribe is coming.
It is good if you give it away to a lot of guys if you've known them all for years. There was only 2 guys that I had known for less than a year. So you have no idea. Like, men love me. I have a lot of boyfriends. I spend a lot of time with all these guys and I never give it up. I don't give it up to anyone.
These 7 guys all at once last night.
I'm glad I gave it up last night, though. I think I'm going to give it up more often. I think I'm going to have a gangbang every week, you guys, on Sunday. And then every other day, I'm going to be hanging out with goddesses all day, every day. But Sunday might be for the kings because that was really fun. Like, I texted the other 5 who couldn't make it, and they're definitely coming next time. So, I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.
All right, we made it through. Lethal precision. We want hamsters. Okay. Back to James. So we get rid of this. Daisy is crazy. You guys don't think that this actually happened either? She could have made it a little more believable, but maybe she wants it to be kind of crazy sounding. So when John blows up, she'd be like, I was obviously lying about that. Just like I was lying about you being a 2-pump chump or whatever. But that's why he deleted the channel. Doesn't say much for her character. I mean, it shows that she's a fucking liar. So, like, that's not good. It's not good for Daisy. Da 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 da, as James Sirocco would say. And da 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 da. Let me get this pulled open. Heather gets jealous of Xavier's fan club. I woke up to that last night. I don't even know why that's on my computer still. I should probably delete that. Save memory. That's back when I used to edit videos, guys. I'm trying to edit shit. That's a scary warning sign. Okay. Here's James. Being a guy. Being a guy, you know? Being a guy. So this is what we missed from before I went live, because I went live at 11:12. So from 10:30 to 11:12 is what he was doing before I sniped him. Snipe and sniper. So we're doing it like Star Wars again today. This is from the beginning of the morning. Maybe James will be live again by the time this ends. And then we can put everything into one stream. I won't even have to do another stream today. I didn't even have to turn my camera. I thought this would just be a quick one. And then, I don't know. We'll see what the day brings us. I'll have to do some other stuff in a bit, but I got some time.
Welcome from Cali. How are you? Got a nice foggy morning here on the boulevard.
Yeah, here, let me Yeah, he always uses a filter.
Today is birthday day 3. And for birthday day 3, I am going to walk around and do whatever I want the whole day. And for me, that means pretty much doing the same thing I do every day. So I'm just going to continue to enjoy myself and walk in circles, and that's about it.
Yeah, they're like 20 minutes away from each other, which is crazy to me.
because I don't do anything else in my life but walk in circles.
For real though.
I mean, obviously, I do way more than in my life than walk in circles.
But no, not really.
know. I'm going to have a nice, stress-free day. I potentially will be getting some.
You could say that I am in between jobs right now, Rebecca. Which is why I'm here all the time now.
Yeah, I think I could just leave it at that. I mean, I'll tell you what. I can't tell you how many times I spat on the side of the street, and every now and again you got somebody walking by. Right, I'll try to spit on the side here, and they'll be walking to go around people and almost get them. So you know,
I see you. I just want to apologize.
I ain't stressing at all.
You're humane.
I appreciate you.
If I do end up on the street ranting, it'll be better than this. We need to get ready for the Olympics.
I'm good.
Today, I am doing my best to make sure everyone feels the way that I get to feel every day, where I'm relaxed and I'm always where I'm supposed to be. And so when I see someone that would otherwise not be where they're supposed to be, my hopes are that for them, and my wish for them today is to be able to enjoy the blessings that I get to enjoy every day, where I'm always where I'm supposed to be.
Just walking aimlessly on the street. Okay.
I can't necessarily say that's my own doing. I would like to say that's God's doing, but I'm always where I'm supposed to be. And I want the same for you, to be always where you're supposed to be, that you're able to relax and enjoy yourself. Happy birthday, D3. Thank you. Thank you. That is a running nickname, and I'm comfortable with D3. I mean, D3 is a good start. I'll be D1. I'll start out with D3. I'm comfortable. No sweat. This nice foggy morning, we're getting a nice low temperature. It's not cold. It's nice. The weather is nice and chilly, that I'm able to not sweat yet. I'm happy to not be sweating today. Oh, is it afternoon for you? Where are you at? And I'll tell you, I see this guy every day, and he was so tough. I'm not going to show you because that would be inappropriate. But I'll tell you what, there's this guy that I see on the boulevard every single day. I have never seen anyone with more strength of will on this boulevard than this man. Who
I was like a Brad Pitt, and then a Brad. Okay. I was like, that makes way more sense.
will not give in, give up. He's always doing his own thing.
I usually really like Libras. James and Daisy are outliers, in my opinion. I don't know what the hell is up with them, but every other Libra I've met, I've seemed to get along with.
No matter what anybody does, he's always pushing. And I hope to God that I can remain as vigilant as he is. That way when I face what I have to face when I have to face what I have to face.
Yeah,
Life keeps blessing me.
James is also scary when he gets horny, you know? Like, I get scared he's gonna go try something. But, yeah, Daisy is just, it's a different flavor of crazy, right? I tried Maggie. James hates Daisy. James hates her with a passion.
Welcome from England. You should come to Hollywood and visit. And in a couple of years, we're going to have the Olympics here in Los Angeles. So if you can't find any other excuse to come to Hollywood, or at least to come to Los Angeles, say for a Dodgers game, you can come to Los Angeles for the Olympics. Ooh, okay. I'm gonna take a look at you guys. I don't want you to get mad at me, and I don't want you to disappear because I'm taking a look at you. You are safe with me. I promise you that. But I want to look because I see people that have they have frames around.
They have frames. I like how he, this fucking guy. I like how for the important people, I important with quotations, the people who put money into the app, I guess, and have platforms. He's like, don't worry, I'm just gonna look at you guys. Don't get weirded out or anything. But when it's like one of our profiles, like right away, as soon as we come on, he's looking at the profile, he's scoping us out. He's saying like, oh, your profile pic looks like this, but you says your gender is this, and this is your name. And it's like, James, it's not that deep. Just like read the comments on screen. I don't, but I guess it's nice. He's like, oh, don't. I'm just gonna, Emily, I'm just gonna, don't be freaked out. I'm just gonna go to your channel. I'm just gonna look at it. Like, what are you doing, James? You weirdo.
Your pictures. Happy birthday! Thank you. And then my personal gift to the world. I don't know how much it does. I honestly don't know how to measure that yet. But. And I'm also having a day where I'm just like not caring how I'm talking at all. I mean, I am. I do care. I'm just like, it's nice to be able to say what I want to say. Most people understand what I'm trying to say anyway. So, Thank you. My gift to the world for my birthday and for having, essentially, I'm having to enjoy my birthday for 12 days to make up for
Snarky like your mom. What, James Soroka? Oh, this is, you'll get to hear him say it. He's like, I got cracked teeth. I don't use toothpaste, but I use whitener. He's like, I whiten my teeth, but I don't brush my teeth. There's cracks in them, but that's okay. Johnny Depp has cracks in his teeth. He just got new ones. And then there was, oh yeah, his butt smells like fish.
Missed birthday parties. I am having 12 days of technical do-overs. And for what I don't do over, I pass that on. So sometimes you could have a day where you say, well, I didn't like today. Nothing's stopping you from doing it twice. The people around you might not be having the same day, but nothing says that you can't start tomorrow. And that after the day's over, the next day you wake up and you say, you know what? Everything I did yesterday, as much as to my capacity and capability, I'm going to do again today. And you could do it again. And it doesn't mean the day before didn't happen, but it does mean that if you ever want to grant yourself another chance at that day, at least internally, you could. And I do that sometimes. If I have a day I didn't like, I'll go the next day and say, you know what? Minus the commitments that I have that are going to, say that today and yesterday are 2 different days. I'm just going to do today what I did yesterday. And it's okay to do that. There's nothing wrong with doing stuff twice. That's my opinion. Or more than twice. Some people live their whole lives doing the same thing every day. The people that raised me, they did the same thing every day, their whole lives.
Why did James and Heather look like they put together spare body parts that just didn't make the cut? Used to be normal human beings. His eyes are starting to go different directions.
The exact same thing, but for the most part, pretty much every single day of their entire lives, it was the same. You know, we grow in age, we grow in experience, but you know, a lot of life does stay the same for people, and that's okay. You're welcome to live that way. I like change in moderation. I've learned more about myself that I don't want as much change as often as I thought I did, but I do enjoy change.
Hey, Diane.
I might not be the biggest fan of coin change in my pocket, because coin change in my pocket definitely weighs me down. But, you know, other kind of change I do enjoy. Sorry, I'm a very active person, and I become far more active than I was even a week ago, and my body is adapting to that. I know my headphones have a very sensitive microphone. I'm going to show you guys the sun. Take a look at this.
I don't see any microphone on his headphones. I don't even think his are they plugged in? I think I do see a cord there. Right there. I was like, I don't even see a cord.
I don't know how big it's going to be on the screen. But you can see the sun from here. I just don't know if I can get it on camera.
The sun?
There, look, check that out. How cool is that?
Okay, remember yesterday when I was like, I'm glad he wasn't, I was expecting to say he was looking straight into the sun. Today, that's what we're doing, guys. We're looking straight into the sun. Why are we doing that?
How freaking cool is that?
It's not, I don't know, whatever. This fucking guy.
So with the fog here in the morning, you can actually see the sun and look straight at it.
I don't think you're supposed
without
to.
hurting your eyeballs.
I don't think so. Don't do that.
You
I
do
don't
want to be
suggest
careful. You don't want to stare at it too long, because it's still going to hurt your eyes.
Don't stare at the sun at all.
O F, not D. Foggy, not doggy. Foggy is a word. Okay. Oh, well, hello.
Yeah, probably small.
Thanks for me, faggot.
Good
I
morning.
throw this coffee up.
All right.
Good morning, dude.
Enjoy
I think he just got called the F slur.
prison.
But that's two completely mentally competent people on the streets of Los Angeles. And, hey, F slur. Oh, have fun in prison.
Moving on. If you're lucky.
Got no brain damage. Smog.
Yeah, that can't happen to me.
Maybe that
He's
is what it
scared.
says.
I would presume that someone from my network offered him
Yeah,
assistance.
that's what he said.
And I'm guessing he turned it down. That's okay. He's a tough guy, though. He'll be all right. I'm not gonna lie to you. I promise you, he's gonna be okay. He's not gonna get hurt or anything. He's just gonna have somebody somewhere, hopefully from his network, could run into him, reach out to him, calm him down. That's just a homeless guy that runs around here all the time. He'll be all right. He's just
You know that scruffy guy you called a mean name? You're gonna have to go apologize to him. You can never do something like that again. Yeah, I'm sure that'll happen.
normally not that, aggressive. I ran into somebody this morning when I had to use the porta potty. Who, he actually had saved my life a couple of times. I'd say 4 or 5 different times. This homeless guy saved my life, and he's out on the streets all the time. And he barely gets any recognition or credit for it. He stays out of trouble for the most part. We all have our own
Rick,
habits and things we got going on.
hold on. Recognition and credit for what? Being homeless? I don't have to kill this foot
But
pedal.
I think it's about time for someone to offer him a little more help or get him in a better position. Because it's to the point where people are kind of singling him out. And, I was going to go to the porta potty and I saw him and he started freaking out. He wasn't freaking out at me. He was freaking out before I saw him. I could hear him halfway down the boulevard with my music blasting in my ears. And against my better judgment, I went up to him because he was like in the middle of an altercation. He was about to get in a fight with somebody. I went up to him and, before even having to ask him what happened, he told me that someone smacked him in the head with a metal pipe. And so I took him to the side and I said, look, how many times have you saved my life? And he didn't say anything. He kind of just paused. He was like, oh yeah, I did that. I'm like,
What did he do to save James's life?
okay. Now, do I, in my head, the look on my face is to him. Am I about to have to get you out of prison? Or can we calm down to keep you from having to be, pulled out of prison? And he chilled out, took a minute, and he went to the restroom. He had to go to the bathroom. And then he came back out, was able to calm down. This is good.
Probably did his drugs in the washroom. I mean, this is just crazy. Waiting in line at the porta potty. Hobo confrontations.
But, it's a shame when you see someone that's a good person who's been doing a lot for people turn around and, be
Street politics, yeah.
put on the spot like that. It's not cool. And people say, well, there's a reason. Somebody did this, somebody did that. Well, I think sometimes it's important to remember and to make account for the good deeds people have done. And sometimes we want to base our decisions on principle. Sometimes I think it's important to base our decision on experience. And when somebody like that, at least for me personally, he had stuck up for me so many times. I can't tell you how many times he's kept me when I was on the street from getting beat up or even getting killed on the street. And that it's not fair.
Again, James has only been here for a month. How many times could this have happened? I've never heard or seen of this guy, or even have James mentioned this guy before.
For them to, because I think about it, I think, well, if he's done that for me, and I'm the last guy anybody would do it for out on the street because I just don't subscribe to street life, well, who else has he done it for, right? So a man of principle, regardless of his background, experience, or his behavior on the street, if he's living that way, staying true to himself, and from the viewpoint that I have as a Christian, or at least as a Christ believer, I think to myself, he deserves that respect. Doesn't matter what he looks like, how he acts. When it comes down to it, he has principle, and he trusts his truth. And so, having saved my life a couple of times, and I most definitely would say the likelihood that he saved the lives of others is pretty high, that
Okay.
he should be granted that pardon and peace and have an opportunity to move on from the situation and not be.
That's how James would get someone out of jail. He's like, I'll just talk to the judge and the cops. Be like, this guy's a pretty good guy. You should let him out. I don't have money for bail or anything, and I don't have a place he can stay at, so I can make sure that he's following the rules. But he's a nice guy. He saved my life and probably a bunch of other people's lives a bunch of times. I'm not gonna get into the specifics of it, but just believe me.
Treated with such disrespect. So I guess what I'm saying is I'll start with something that's going to take a little courage. If you're watching this and you're from the Hollywood area, if you know who may have done that to him, do me a favor and peacefully resolve the issue and please help him into a position where he's not going to get treated that way or have that happen to him again. And that's on my word, if you feel that you got to come to me about it, I am out here. But if you don't have to, thank you. Just please look out for him because is treated me with a lot of respect and has kept me alive on several occasions
Narcan fan.
that I wasn't personally equipped, prepared for, or aware of. And that does
James just ODing on the streets. This guy's, yeah, just making sure he comes back to life. I mean, that'd make things so easy, but James don't do drugs.
happen. You know, I take care of myself as much as possible. From time to time, you know, things happen that you're not ready for. With that said, my next thing there is, you know, after calming down, I kind of looked at the guys that were there who had were riling him up after having been assaulted. After he got assaulted, and then they were, you know, riling him up. And I looked at him, I'm like, you know, do we have any problem? I told him, I said, you know, he saved me a couple of times. Do you guys have any issues with him, or like, is everything cool? Are you guys good? And, you know, they kind of just looked at me like, yeah, everything's good. I'm like, all right. Now, you know, could you do me a favor and look out for him? And they kind of looked at me like, are you serious? You know, and I was like, how many times I look out for you? I didn't say that to them, but that's the way I kind of...
See, screenshot this, actually probably saving people. You're a sweetheart. That's good.
Tried to guilt them into a little bit. You know, I looked at them, I'm like... And so, you know, they offered to spot him a little bit. And
Get this a learning
hopefully
channel.
He's doing good. But
Learning.
it's like people have places they like to go, places they frequent, and everyone has their habits and their routines. And with the up and coming election and with the up and coming Olympics here in Los Angeles, they are changing. Things are changing, and the environment's changing, and the places people are able to go, at least for a time, you know, are changing. And
Retrofitted. That's, I think, the word he used to describe his package. It was retrofitted.
there's not always places for here.
Yeah, 4 years. His thing's glitching. Wi-Fi hopping. Hippity hoppity doo dah. Woo woo woo. What is going on?
And it's disappointing, but at the same time, that change is a necessity, right? And it's no different than if you, on a psychological basis, it's no different than if you had an apartment or you had a car, and all of a sudden the government just said, well, this isn't here for you. Or if you had assistance or were making money, and say you lost your job or you lost your assistance, it's going to make an impact on your daily life. So for the homeless community, the changes that have been happening to be ready for the Olympics has been a hard hit personally for most of it. So there's not really anything I can do. You know, he kind of turned to me and he's like, and I mean, he literally said this to me, and I had to maintain my composure. It was difficult for me not to keep a straight face because I felt so bad. But my life has moved into a different position, and I told him that. I said, you know, and I told him, how many times have people come at me? And he was like, a lot. I'm like, yeah. And what did I do? And he looked at me like, you know, you smited them. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like how there's AI obsession, the Olympics. If we have to hear about the Olympics for 4 fucking years, I'm gonna end up hating the Olympics. I have no opinion of the Olympics right now. He's making me hate him.
what did I do? Forgave him, moved on, let it go. And so I was explaining to him verbally to help him understand that letting it go gets you a lot further, because people prefer someone of peace over someone of war, at least in a civilian environment. And he has had a lot of experiences that put him in a war-torn mindset. So I explained that to him, and he understood. He's like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, in his own way, right? What I'm saying to him, still saying to him made sense. And then, I proceeded to be like, all right, well then, are you able to let this go? And then after confirming for me that he was able to let it go and that they were able to let it go, as I went to walk away, he's like, oh, where are you going? Da, 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 da. So I got to go on with my day. He's like, well, what are you actually going to do? I told him I got to go to work. And then he's like asking me about work and stuff. And I gave him a little bit of information. And I'm like, now I got to head out. And he's like, all right, but like, you're still here, right? You know, he's like, you're not leaving, you're not going anywhere, like you're still here. I'm like, yes, yes. And so I, you know, he was kind
Ray Gun devastated by online hate after Olympics performance. What is this?
of trying to make it look like he was faking it, you know, like he was trying to fake it, he was trying to act like he's faking it, like he didn't care if I left or if I stayed, and I could see that he was being genuine. So I took him seriously. I looked him dead in the face.
I don't even know who Ray Gun is. Hold on. Whoops.
Give it up to Ray Gun!
Is this copywritten music? Is this, why does my bar keep going down there? Let's see what this is. Let's pretend there's music. Is this, people didn't like this? She was yawning. She was swinging her arms around, doing a backward somersault. These aren't very good break dancing moves. This is like James hip hop dancing, right? So what it's gonna look like? I don't know. I seen when I was a young lad break dancing at the fake club. This wasn't even a real club. We're in the elementary school. It's like some fake club. But kids be breakdancing in there better than this. What is this? That's the Homer Simpson thing. Or maybe this is Stooges. Interesting. Why was she devastated by online hate? There's like a news thing about it. I don't know.
We got Ray Gun.
It was an Olympic performance
Bam. Bam, bam.
that got the internet going faster than a 100-meter sprint with no
Well, this is very... I don't want to watch... That's going to bore me to death. But yeah, so people didn't like Ray Gun. I didn't even know. I thought you meant Chris Ray Gun. It's like Chris Ray Gun was in the Olympics. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on in the world. James probably knows more about the world than I do.
Said, yeah, I'm staying. I'm home. I'm here. And he calmed down, and I didn't realize, I did not know that he
She scored a 0.0 in every round. Okay. Whoa.
even cared whether or not I was around, you know. But I suppose he does, and I was happy to see him. But you know, when I first walked up on the situation, I heard his voice, and I at first was wondering, who is that? Because I recognized their voice, but I hadn't placed just yet who it was. And then I saw him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, what's going on? So then, as I said, I went up to him, and we took care of that situation. And I'm sorry to have given you that story in bits and pieces, and, you know, jumping back and forth in the timeline of the story. I remembered it as best as I could, the parts that I could.
We learned about Ray Gun.
I guess I kind of prioritized it based on, you know, urgency. But, you know, like I said, to wrap it up, I'll say twice, is if you could look out for him, I'd appreciate you for that. And then there's a few others there's a few people out there who, you guys, those of you of the streets of Hollywood know who I'm referencing, people that and I thank you for your discretion in reference to people that I've done my best to look out for and keep out of trouble. I have moved on from that sense, and I'm thankful that I don't have anyone making any efforts to pull me into any of that. Thank you for the mercy. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for being merciful towards me in reference to the work I had to put in to get off the street and not be out here and actually be living in Hollywood, not just being new to Hollywood.
Do you think we'll ever get to see this fake apartment? I imagine the apartment is like an old phone booth from when there were still payphones, and they just forgot to get rid of this one, and this is James' apartment.
Now, thankfully, I'm not having to deal with doing that again. I found proper projects to keep myself occupied, to also maintain proper housing.
What the fuck are the projects? The projects to maintain proper housing? So, yeah, I think it's just a shelter. And he's like, washing dishes is the projects and shit. Cleaning the common area, you know?
in the ways that are appropriate. And I suppose my recommendation to you is that if you are out here and you genuinely want to get off the street, find a way. You know, if this place says they don't want you, if that guy says he doesn't want to help you, find someone who will. And I don't know whether or not you pray, but I do. And I know that God is listening. And whether that sounds sane or my belief sounds ostentatious, I
Australian breakdancer Reagan, and you also learn that pigs have orgasms for 30 minutes.
trust in his will, and I move forward in my faith. And God does continue to protect me and make sure that I'm safe during the times that I know that I am not yet skilled to the degree appropriate to handle a situation. And I'll tell you, before I prayed, I made it pretty far and I did pretty good. And admittedly, I was a god of a man without any pride in the matter. Taking pride out of the matter, I bow to the feet of Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. That's my truth. He is my truth. Before him in my life, as close as I have Christ in my heart, in my mind, in my life, I was outlandishly capable. I could do things that no man could do, that most men couldn't do.
What?
And I delegated for people that most people will never meet.
Okay, James.
And I'm thankful to continue maintaining relationships with the people that I've met that were closest to me, that they remain closest to me. I'm thankful for the new relationships that I built with people that are now close to me. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to continue moving forward and moving, up the hierarchical ladder, that I could continue to grow my life at a healthy and appropriate rate.
Going on, Fendi.
So I'll leave you with that. Use your skills, and when your skills aren't enough, if you're willing to, pray. B-R-A-Y.
B-R-A-Y?
Good morning. How are
What would Jessica Messica do?
you? Well, I'm going to take a seat right where it looks like I left a scooter right on the corner. No offense, I don't use these scooters. They're super dangerous, and you hear in the news every single day about somebody who ends up getting hit by a scooter or gets hit on a scooter or falls off a scooter and gets hurt.
James, it's a fucking driving device. I think it'd be okay. You don't know how to use a scooter? He's no Oliver Tree.
These city scooters are such a problem.
He can't ride the bus. He can't ride a scooter. He pretends to drive. He just walks, hobbles up and down Hollywood Boulevard. I want to know what this thing is, though. This isn't the bench. This is some other place he's sitting.
And it's a problem because they're not appropriate to the environment. We do not have the appropriate infrastructure to have these scooters here.
What?
Whatever deals were made or what have you, that part's none of my business. But what is my business is the protection and the defending of human life. And that's on an interpersonal basis. And
Yeah, okay.
I have learned to keep the protection of human life out of my professional goals, my professional pursuits. Yeah, that would be the word, my professional pursuits. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to put myself out there and care from time to time. I make sure not to cross those professional boundaries. And I'm pretty good at not crossing those professional boundaries now that I've really learned, how far I can go and how far I can't go. And I'm thankful for people leaving me out of the conversation having to do with things that don't have to do with me or that I'm not as skilled as would be necessary to make those decisions.
When you're in the park / street cleaning crew. Saw many a scooter was run over, no helmet, no safety gear. People did drive those drunk too. See, like, you should just know how to ride things. Like, you know, it's a scooter. It's a scooter. Like, if you can ride a skateboard, if you can ride a bike, if you can ride normal scooter, why can't you ride these scooters? They have minds of their own. They just like homing bomb into cars. You know what I mean? Like, just be responsible. Now it's not allowed. Oh, mamma mia.
So you guys had me for a while. I got a good amount of battery. I'm not really doing anything else with my day. It's gonna be a while till the sun comes out. So I'm kind of just hanging out.
Never rules to have
Birthday number
helmets.
3.
Probably
But I
a
am
good
gonna
rule.
take my headphones off because I'm really not like. I don't really need the extra cushioning today.
I like it. We just announces what he's doing. We don't care. Just take your headphones off, James. It's okay.
So the headphones are coming off for the day, or at least for now. Not off the body, just off my head. Because it's a nice quiet morning and I don't need the extra cushioning. It is a Monday, so a lot of people are going to be busy. I forgot to use a Q-tip this morning. I keep forgetting to use them. Sorry about that. It's pretty gross. But I am clean. I am well showered. I do shower every day now, which is
That's
really
good.
nice to be able to get a shower every day. I'm not against using soap, but like I'm very careful with what kind of soap that I use.
Why is he so like anti-soap, anti-toothpaste? We're gonna use teeth whitening strips, but not fucking brush our teeth. Like,
am willing to go the distance to. Okay, so like with the amount of influence that I have, if I
Oh,
use
God.
the soap that is provided to the homeless,
Uh-huh.
me using that soap creates the potential
To be
of
homeless?
really helping.
Ooh, this is a nice comment. You are a pathological liar. You've never achieved anything. You're jobless and homeless. Good ID 103 629 007
To provide more of it. And I'm happy to help, but I have my limitations. I have to respect my own lifestyle. I'm not going to move into my own lifestyle unless I live my own lifestyle.
So whatever fucking soap is being passed out to the homeless or at the shelter, he's not that's a bad look for him to be using that soap. So what, he needs to go find other soap? Where is he getting the other soap from?
So I don't use the, what do you call it? I don't use like non-organics. I just don't. I will tell you that even if some of these,
Like a
once
swamp
again,
ass,
this is not
probably.
something that I'm involved in. So like I'll share my opinion, but beyond my opinion, there's not much that I'm a part of in those conversations. But once again, here in a little 5 minutes, I live in Hollywood. I don't know what you would call somebody living in Hollywood, or a Californian. I'm a Californian. I won't use. Excuse me. I won't use anything that's not organic, but I'll tell you something. Nowadays, welcome from the Philippines. Yeah, so Hollywood is in California, and California is in the United States.
Someone's-
You nowadays can buy
I guess that's where he got that extra 2 beans. Someone sent him a duck juice box, a duck box.
organics. Thanks for the bean. You can buy organics that cost the same price, if not less, than traditional soap. So, if you want me to use the soap that supports the homeless, then give me soap that is organic, that supports the homeless. I can tell you, some of these places, they give out Dr. Bronner's soap. Dr. Bronner's soap is organic. It's really healthy for you. And Dr. Bronner's also doubles as laundry detergent. You can use Dr. Bronner's soap as laundry detergent.
Okay.
I was using
Dr. Bronner's like a scammer, snake oil salesman too, or what's this guy about?
Dr. Bronner's back in 2016, 2017, before Dr. Bronner's was even popular. I did research and found Dr. Bronner's, so I started using the soap. And it's really good for you. It's healthy for the body, and it cleans you, you know? But if it's not organic, I won't use it. So, like if you, or I try, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I don't. And especially in the city, the water is so hard pH-wise that if you wash your hair for 5 minutes and you just stand there and you scrub your hair for 5 straight minutes, your hair will get as clean as if you use soap, regular soap. And that is the truth. Now, it might not come out looking the same. It might come out looking, you know, you might have a little dandruff, and then, you know, your hair might be a little, it might look greasy, but what it is that your hair has natural oils in it that your hair is supposed to have. And so, if you don't wash out those natural oils,
Moisturizer with sugar soap. This is the only soap he uses? It looks like soap you would buy at Whole Foods.
using the chemicals in the soaps that are non-organic, then your hair is going to look sometimes greasy or like you have gel in it, right? But with that said, teeth are very similar. Your teeth. So like the natural color of teeth is yellow. Your teeth are not naturally white, they're naturally yellow. And a sign of a healthy mouth and healthy teeth is actually when your teeth are very, very yellow.
Oh yeah, is that it, James? Is that what we're supposed to be told? This is fucking Cobra soap, the pheromone soap. It's like a bunch of fucking money. Jesus, so like what? 3 things of soap is $41. I don't even know how much is soap. How much is soap? I feel like I should probably know. It's one of those things that I only buy like, I don't know, every 6 months or something. You just get a big ass thing of body wash.
Believe it or not, the natural color of your teeth is the color yellow, and your teeth are supposed to be almost gold. They're supposed to be super dark yellow.
What? Maybe if like, I don't know, they're being bathed in blood every day. Like a tiger's teeth is yellow because like they eat a bunch of like they got blood on it.
That's healthy. When our teeth start to die and our teeth start to corrode, that's when our teeth turn white. So like if you think about bone in the human body, right? When a bone sticks out of your body, the color isn't a total white. It's like
because it's fucking bloody. If you take the blood off of it, it's white.
Pale. And bone doesn't necessarily turn white until it starts to die, because bone is organic material. Until the bone starts to die organically, that it's when it becomes less alive and is more of an inorganic material. So the fact of the matter is, your teeth are bones, and they're supposed to be yellow.
Daisy is doxing all Good's mistresses. She live again? Why is she being so mischievous today? She's gotta chill out. This is why people call women crazy. They'll be like, oh, women are just crazy. It's because, like, they'll do stuff like that. I guess men can do that, too. Have men ever doxed, like, a bunch of, dudes? In a fucking He-Hive or something? Watch John just dox, all of the guys in the He-Hive now. Posting them on YouTube, not live, though.
It's
what?
really popular to have.
She's just posting like in her comment section? Are you, like their actual doxes? Is she insane? Hold on, I gotta look at this.
White teeth. It used to be popular to have yellow teeth back in the day.
Used to be popular back in the day to have yellow teeth. Okay, whatever you say, James.
And that's why sometimes you hear about people having wood teeth, right?
What?
That's a real thing.
No. What? People had wood teeth?
They would have wooden dentures because the color of those wooden dentures made it look like your teeth were healthy. Interesting, unpopular facts. So I will.
Imagine getting a sliver in your fucking mouth. Who the hell's making wooden dentures?
Will tell you that, right? That the healthy color of teeth is yellow, while at the same time, I use teeth whitener because I'm smart and I want to be a part of society, right?
I'm not smart enough to brush my teeth.
So, like, I promote healthy living. That doesn't mean that I don't want friends. So, I whiten my teeth and I wash my hair. And my hair, I have really, really healthy hair. So, like, I have a lot of natural oils in my hair. And so even whenever I wash it really good, it still comes out looking this way. But I would rather this than, having an unhealthy scalp and unhealthy hair. And I'll find a solution. I will. I just haven't found one yet.
Okay, so Daisy's not... I don't think she's posting doxes. She's getting doxes, but she's not... Well, maybe. Maybe this name is a dox? She's, like, being mischievous, though. She's like, cropping it out in such a way. Hold on. I want to make sure nothing can get found with this name before I show you.
Yeah, you can Google it. Your teeth are supposed to be yellow.
Maybe you could say this is a dox. The name, if you Google it, I would say this is qualified. I don't know why she's doing that. She could have just, like, not put the name in this thing, and it would have been fine. I think I can show you if I don't show you the name. So she's like, here, hold on. Will this be okay? Yeah, okay. So I'm not gonna show the name that's above this, but, like, this, posting, like, I don't know, this thing, like, you'd be like, oh, alright, this is something, and then, okay, that is the name. Don't look at that name, but this is Queen Diana looking up this information and sending it to her, and she's like, oh my god, you said that's her, and you're a genius. And she's like, it wasn't that hard to find. I'm just, Queen Diana of everything, So that's what Daisy's up to on her YouTube tab, being crazy.
It's socially
We got 6 more minutes of James.
popular nowadays for your teeth to be white. That's why I whiten my teeth. But I don't use toothpaste. When I have either a piece of wood. Now, I do live indoors. I'm not homeless, so I don't need to sound like I'm living out here. I'm living inside. But I'm from the woods. And out there, we would take a piece of wood and you gnaw on the end of it and then use it to brush your teeth.
Because he was raised, I don't know why this is the new story. He was raised in the woods by wolves, and they just, like, chew on wood to brush their teeth. That's what he's saying.
If you were out in the woods for a couple of days hunting, instead of, because you're not taking a toothbrush with you, you're not taking a backpack, you're moving in such a fashion that it's kind of like a hunter-gatherer, where you're...
James also has never been hunting, to my knowledge, either. And I don't think, is that what they fucking do in the woods when they're hunting? Just chew on wood?
You're hunting down the animal. You're not just sitting and waiting for it. So you'd have to track the animal and you'd have to hunt it down. But like using a wood toothbrush is really healthy for you. If you have thin enough bristles. Charcoal isn't too bad. Charcoal does pull at your teeth, but it's actually decently healthy for your teeth to use charcoal. But plastic toothbrushes are so bad for your teeth, it's not even funny. Your teeth are supposed to breathe.
They're supposed to breathe.
And so when I say your teeth are supposed to breathe, what I mean is, there are holes in your teeth. There are microscopic holes in your teeth that absorb the air and what's in the air and release, what's in your body. And I'm trying to explain this properly.
I don't think, is that true? I don't think, I've never heard of this.
like when your teeth, to keep your teeth from rotting, your teeth have microscopic holes in them. And when you're like swishing saliva in and out of your teeth, you know, it goes in and out of your teeth, and then you're able to like spit out what's between your teeth and what might be sticking to it. And then what's really supposed to happen, now this is going on true organics, all right? We're going real natural here. This doesn't mean it's like how everybody's doing it. I'm just telling you the nature of it is that
Teeth don't breathe air. I don't know what he's talking about.
you're supposed to be eating like our bodies are built for a raw diet. Our bodies aren't built. Nowadays we've adapted and evolved that sometimes our bodies require
Right?
us to cook meat and stuff
Using
like that.
teeth with feet.
So like if you don't come from a background like mine, where my family has been living naturally for like 5 generations, my body, I got like an iron stomach. I can pretty much eat anything and not worry about it. I can eat, you know, I could eat raw meat, and if I accidentally consume a tapeworm, my body will kill that tapeworm.
Okay. What?
I got a really healthy body, like to an archaic degree. But if you don't have a body capable of that, then obviously you want to cook your meat. You want to make healthy choices, choices that are healthy for your body based on your body's capability. But our bodies are made to be consuming the raw meat. We're at one point, I should say, made to be consuming the raw meat. We're made to be consuming the acids and things of that nature. And so when you would be swooshing those raw acids in between your teeth as you're chewing, those acids that were in the food you were eating would kill off anything that would normally destroy your teeth, and then it would corrode away at what's between your teeth, and then you just spit it out or swallow it. Whereas nowadays, you know, there's a process to it. So yeah. I'm scrolling up. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm just scrolling up in the comments. And don't get upset or scared if I see a comment and I look a certain way. I'm a careful guy. And if your comment catches me off guard, it doesn't mean you need to be nervous. You don't need to be nervous. It just takes me a minute to process what I'm seeing. And like, you got to remember, I'm really stubborn. So I have my own mindset, and I'm stubborn in my mindset. And sometimes I'll be thinking about one thing, and then I'll take a look at the comment, and it takes me in a total different direction, and I have to like adjust to going in a different direction mentally. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I'll tell you what, some people, like, for example, I give you an example of somebody a lot of people like to pay attention to. Johnny Depp. He recently got a full set of dentures. I don't know if he got dentures or implants, but Johnny Depp just got a brand new set of teeth. You know? Like, good for him. There's nothing wrong with that. I can tell you guys, I will be doing it. That I will be getting a new set of teeth at some point. I'm probably going to start off with just continuing to whiten my teeth, and then going to the dentist and getting my teeth evened out. And then later on in life, as my teeth start to rot more, which I do have some cracks in my teeth, you can't really see them. Oh, excuse me. You can't really see the cracks in my teeth, but they're there. And, you know, once my teeth get worse, maybe into my 50s and 60s, I'll probably end up getting a replacement set of teeth. So.
See, he's got it all planned out. Cracked teeth, fish ass. We're at 11:12 now, so this is where we came in. And I think that's it. No one else is live. Nothing else is happening. Heather didn't go live. Heather's not doing anything. Is Heather doing anything? Hold on, let's just look real quick. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I am burnt out. Okay, no, there's no Heather or anything. That's it for James. But I kept it going for another 5 minutes because I'm crazy. Woo! Yeah, fish ass. Fish ass. All quiet on the Heather front. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys are having a great Monday. It's Monday. Monday. I gotta go do some stuff and some things, and then I can come back at some time in a bit. I hope everything's cool with you guys. I'll see you later, beta. This is the button.